Out the show, talking about a few different things as we work on what the plan is. But Joe, thanks again, man. If Neil's not doing too well, promise me you'll be back tomorrow.
I promise.
Okay, well,
as long as I'm allowed to.
I shall hold you to that. All right, thank you, everybody. It's now the midday madness as we rotate hosts again, but now we've got Obi and Sharif, so that's something that people are familiar with.
Switch it up.
All right, Joe, thanks for that, man. We had a great show. We're still $6 in the money on AMD.
You're going to the Leafs game.
Yes. Oh, where's my?
Let's see the tickets.
Hold on. Oh, the tickets. We're sitting in the bowl. No, hold on. I got this going on right here. Where's my jersey? Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, we've got the, get out of here, jacket. We've got the Leaf jersey.
Okay. Who is it?
Nobody. I got
nobody. All right, that's good.
We don't on here.
We don't want to.
We've got an early little Thanksgiving Leaf. My brother, who I thought would be here right now.
Where is he? Is he late? Fashionably late?
I don't know what this guy's doing.
Okay.
But there it is right here. So, yeah, we're going to the Leaf game. We're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
And then we're going to hang out, check if we can see some of the Jays game. I know these guys are going over there. All right, without any further ado, thanks, Joe. It was a great time here today. We say go Leafs go. We've got $6 on AMD. We're ready to rock and roll. It's the midday madness. Let's throw it over there.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Obi, and I'm Sharif, and welcome to everybody on this Monday. How you doing? Thanksgiving holiday, might I add. Shout out to Ronaldo, Shadow Up, Eternal Reality. Shout out to Shrush. We got Sunder R and PMAC, Eli, Ebflow. Shout out to Andrew Chow and Dangerous, Shadow Rap. We got Miggy Mog, Mo, and Xiaobo. Obi's in the house as well. Can you believe it? Andrew Chow and Why Not? Shout out to the OG Gorev, CEO, Mixel Ventures, and Gert. Ahmed's joining us as well. Shout out to TX. Badger and Ron Miller. We got something there. Yummy Thai Foods, Donkey Trader. Who else, man? We got Hurt Scrambler. We got Derek Thompson and Alex Nagan, Daja Binks and Eddie R. Shout out to Echo Max and Papacito. We got KC 526. RCPC, we got Todd, we got the Northwestern Sasquatch, and shout out to Mahi and Gia. Bora is in the house as well. Shouting out everybody. Good morning, Ob.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys had a solid weekend here. It is Canadian Thanksgiving, so we do have it off today. The drive-in, absolutely beautiful on Canadian holidays.
Oh yeah.
Normally
fantastic.
The drive would take about like an hour and change, and I got here in about 35 minutes.
I believe that.
From the East End, so
I believe that.
It was pretty nice little drive. I usually don't prefer driving in the morning session, or before the morning session, because I'm just like, that's too many decisions for me. Too much decision making. Like the mental can get a little skewed.
Yeah.
You know, there's you got to avoid some crazy drivers out there.
I bet.
Just like, you know, sometimes
it's a brave new world.
It can be a little bit distracting, I would say. And
all right.
When we come in the morning, you got to be at 100%. So,
okay. Oh, but I just want to cover the things that I've got over here.
Sir.
Andre, by the way, I can't hear anything you're saying, so you're gonna have to message Obi. Okay, GWH. This is the biggest, the baddest in the market right now. It's up, I believe, 868%. But there's a new one, ELBM. We're keeping tabs on this one. This one's up 6.53%. Good looking flat top break, ascending wedge, continuation pattern through 5.25. That's where most of the majority of the closing prints were all rejecting. 610 high. I'd be looking for a 5.5 to 5.25 buy and a continuation. That's a previous level of resistance. I'm interested in ELBM and AQMS. So I was looking at actually punching into AQMS, but we had to start the show, so I had other things that I had to keep an eye on. But these are the two ones right now that I like the most. UAMY's got a good-looking chart pattern as well, but it's a bit more expensive, and we'll have to that price will have to factor in to your risk management. So there's AQMS trying to take out 9 again. It's got a 981 high. Not the same looking ascending wedge pattern that we got on the other one on ELBM, but you're getting a whole lot of respect here for the 10 EMA or VWAP, which are basically overlapping right now on the 5-minute chart on AQMS. So this is of a lot of interest to me. Likewise with ELBM, as I mentioned. Criminal, we had multiple times last week. CRML has been running for days on end. Today, no different. And much like the other days that this was running, it is respecting trend typically at the 10 EMA or at VWAP. So we'll keep tabs on those. There's also STI, which is a little bit less than 150% green on the day. Alas, it's a bit more expensive and much more volatile as well as spready. 1581 high, trading below 1350 at the moment. Trying to hold on to that $13. I perceive this $13 area to be a breakout level, so I'll keep tabs on that. That's all I've got at the moment. SOAR has been going. I'll keep my eye, as I mentioned, on GWH and IPD, Enob.
Yes, sir. So a couple of trades from me this morning, and I was just like, and a couple of missed ones as well. So I kind of want to talk about the ones I took, and then the one I pretty much missed, and it definitely should have been a top op. I kind of fumbled the ball on that one. Here. So in the morning, Palantir, a little bit of a 77 VWAP hold. I like the bit of a continuation, but you can see how tight I kept it. I didn't give it up to 178. It pops up into 178. Gives us a little bit of a wick action right there before coming all the way back down to 174. So, oh boy, sellers are definitely in charge on Palantir, and they showed you they were in charge in the morning session. They showed you they're in charge in and around that VWAP and even around the lower test. Look at the step down, 178 resistance, and then 177. Sellers stepping it down all the way to day lows now, trading at 173.79s. So keeping an eye on those as well. QS, got a little bit lucky with that one. That one pretty much fell into my lap. I just happened to have it on my screen, and I was like, oh boy, this thing is running. And I was like, why are you running? Where are you running? So a little bit of an aggressive bid off of the open, just took a easy reversion to VWAP right there as those buyers step back down. Just a 17 failure to follow through. If you go back and look at the prior day here on QS, you can see why I might have liked it a little bit more on that initial push. That was prior day's high. Prior day's high was at 1698. Sorry, 1689. We go all the way up to a high of 1706, and then the tape just stalls. A little bit of a stall there after an unusual buying period, and yeah, a little bit of a reversion back down to VWAP. Got a little lucky with that one. Another name, I know a lot of people are watching this, are the rare earth names as well. You can see MP Materials Corp, the strongest out of the rest of them, most of them. I'm watching TMC as well. This was a beautiful, beautiful reversion here on TMC as soon as those buyers finished. 11 all the way down to 1040s. Sure, it's only about 60 pennies, but the reversion is definitely very, very much there on some of these names here. So that's what I got on watch. But we said one more, the one that I missed. Sharif, on Friday, the market absolutely tanked.
It did.
Right? We got a little bit of a panic sell that happened.
We did,
sure, participants kind of pushed into the market. Great. There was one name that really did not care.
Which one?
OCLO. OKLO, I remember even saying this. I was like, oh boy, the market is dropping, the sky is falling, and OCLO is not doing anything. So this was prior day. So OCLO went all the way to 160s. These were all-time highs, kind of a consolidation range sideways, but it managed to hold that 150 pretty well, while a lot of other names in the market were taking out day lows and closing even further. So I did notice the relative strength on OCLO. Guess what happens coming in today? That strength showing up in the pre-market session with a tight consolidation between just shy of 160 and 155. You can see the highs there, 159.70s, and oh boy. While the rest of the market was chopping around, doing absolutely bupkis, as you like to say, in the morning session, look at this clean breakout of pre-market highs. Never even looks back. There's an all-time high push on OCLO, and that goes from 160s all the way up to 173s. And guess what? If you didn't like the long, the reversion back down to VWAP was absolutely beautiful as well. So a little bit of a miss on my part. Probably one of the best opportunities, in my opinion, that happened on the day today, because it already showed you who was in charge on Friday throughout the turmoil, throughout the panic. AQUMS was relatively strong. Off of the open, buyers showed themselves again. So bit of a miss on my part, but something I got to review, and there were nuances there that, you know, if I'm effectively doing my preparation, like I'm like, all right, cool, AQUMS might be one to watch out for. But in the morning, I was watching BE, I was watching AVGO, fresh news things, maybe some MP as well. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really done anything. But bro, there's another reason why I haven't really done anything.
Why, Hope?
Because I told you, well, first of all, drove in, so decisions maybe not the best.
You didn't get to
I think
prep.
I'm having some sort of spark plug problem because the car was like shaking on idle, which was concerning. I'm like, all right, I gotta call CAA in the evening. But other than that, last night I was up till 4 a.m.
Why? Oh, you were trading up Blue Ocean.
I was taking a little bit of a swim. Swim in the blue ocean. So some crazy, crazy moves. And I did take the reversion. That is an ignition coil saying hang her off. Yeah, exactly. I think, so there's no engine light or anything. So I think it has something to do with the engine, some mounting issues, but could be sparks. There's no engine light on. So I think I might just call the tow truck from here. I don't necessarily want to drive it back, even though I could drive it. I was going like, I think as soon as I revved it above 2,000 RPM, it just started shaking, and I was like, oh boy, I gotta slow down a little bit. Rolled in a little slow.
Sorry
but
about that,
it could be so many things, exactly. So I'll give it to the mechanic and then find out. But Blue Ocean was great swimming last night. I traded a little bit of Tesla. Nvidia was great as well. I was looking for that 190 push because I'm like, all right, what's the probability of there being some liquidity at a key level like 190? And we eventually kind of reverted to those levels later on at night. But it took I took a long on Tesla at like around 11:30. And I didn't get out till about 3:30 a.m.
Oh, wow. Good for you, bro. So, that's committed. I appreciate that, Obi. I definitely wasn't doing that last night.
On my phone, kind of watching my position, playing Pokemon Fire Red.
I like that. All right, guys, couple of trades to talk about. AQMS, looking for that hold of 5.5, trying to build my position. Sorry, this is ELBM. Trying to hold my position into 5.5 on on EBLM, excuse me. Trying to see if this 5.5 area breakout level is going to hold. I put my stop through prior bar low. So if we end up getting stopped out, I can always work my way back in on this one. AQMS is doing all right. We got a couple of beak wetters on this one, looking for that continuation above 9.5, but we are getting lower highs now on the 5-minute candle chart. You're getting higher lows, but you're also getting lower highs. So I'm keeping my eye on that one. That one is of interest to me. I haven't pulled the trigger on IPDN or UAMY, so I'm going to pack my patience on those ones. I don't really have much other than those two. I see SOAR is breaking out as well, so I'll keep my eye out on that one. Criminals pulling back into the 10 EMA, but it's really about setting up for me pardon me, setting up for me at this level on EBLM here. We're going to the big desk.
Keep an eye here on Arista Networks, ANET. This is actually dropping here on reports that Meta and Oracle are saying they're going to be using NVIDIA's Spectrum X Ethernet switches to power their AI data center network. So I guess this is viewed as competition for ANET, dropping sharply on this catalyst, guys. Arista Networks, ANET. Back to you.
Oh boy, the longs are definitely getting arrested in their positions on that drop. No, I'm joking. Yeah, interesting.
Get it, Obi. Get it, Obi.
Very much. But no, let's see what's going on with Arista here. RIST. What's the stock there? ANET. Okay, all right, boom. Yeah, of course I know ANET. Yeah, okay, boom. Down to 150s, but straight slam in 147.58s. Coming into some not even prior days levels. Look at this. That's after hours from Friday, coming in with a little bit of a chop in and around there. So let's see how this one pans out. Man, some of these intraday news trades have been absolutely crazy. Like these breaking news traders, shout out to you guys. You guys probably printing in this kind of market because as soon as some sort of news comes out, we see that crazy directionality and then a sudden stall after that pressure is just done. So whoever's the fastest to the punch on those ones, yeah. If you're scraping for news, you're punching into.
All right, I gotta interrupt. Well. AQMS is breaking out, guys. Here we go. We got 84s on, $0.50 breaking now. We got shares on this one. It's about 50% in Greensville. Watch out for the turnaround on AQMS, but here we go. Took the breakout there at 9:30. On the break, we added aggressively on this one. So let's see now if we can shake the $0.5. The next area we're going to wait is in the mid-60s. Let's look for the continuation into the $0.5, but anything below that $10 area ends the trade. 9.5 is the breakout level though. So that's what I'd like to end the trade at 10. If it loses 10, but I will add again if it comes back into that area. Now, watching for the $0.5 seller. He's stepping in again. Now we're seeing more stepping in right there. There we go. Now we're taking the $0.5 seller, and there it goes into the high. We've still got shares on here, guys. Let's go. We're taking out it at the high. We're $1 in the money almost on this one. AQMS up about 82%. There's a 75 seller, and there we're going to take out more. And there's 82 now. We're going to take it out there as well. Watch out for 11. Here comes the squeeze into 11. 88 showing up. 90s. There it is. Into 90s. So EAQMS. We're still holding bigly on this one. Let's see if we can continue through 11. The highest print we've got, 95s, high of day, 97. We're going to go ahead and wait north of 11 for a quick price spike up. But look at that turnaround. Ooh. As quickly as it touches 11, as quick as it can come back down into 10. And that's what ends the trade for me. That is one of my better trades there, simply because once I saw that flat top break through 9.5, I added aggressively on the breakout, which is what I've been wanting to do. Keep your eye on AQMS, but look for that $9 hold. The volume weighted average price and the 10 exponential moving average are both overlapping at that level, in addition to the fact that it is psychological support vis-a-vis the whole dollar level. On the lookout for AQMS, looking for more.
Nice. That thing is going absolutely crazy, man. You gotta watch out for that one, especially when those things start to hold higher and higher like that. Yeah. Just that grind up, man. It always scares me. Those drops always definitely scare me, because I'm just like, if I'm getting over leveraged into something and that swipes down, oh boy.
Yeah, this is like playing a video game, though.
Oh, 100%. No, trading is like playing a video game.
I think it's a lot more of playing a video game with this, because you got to react in the same way. Yeah, much faster.
It's a much faster, like
much faster.
I guess it would be the difference from playing like a fast-paced first-person shooter versus maybe like maybe a more like SimCity or like maybe like a Tetris or like a chess or something.
Tetris, you got to speed up. But can I show this?
Tetris, have you seen that?
I think I have. Yeah. This is really ugly though, guys. So look at this topping tail candle that's forming right there on AQMS. Now, I always want to stress that this is not the same thing. Seeing this topping tail candle manifest in the way that it is right now, as say seeing it on a Tesla or an Apple or an Nvidia intraday, it doesn't mean the same thing, because you got to understand why people are in this versus why people may be in an Nvidia or something else, right? This is an intraday trade for 9 out of 10 people. And when you get price spikes like this, it's not the market turning its back on AQMS intraday. It's just people taking profits or short seeing a good opportunity for a mean reversion trade. And look who I'm talking to. We got the mean reversion trader right next to me. So that's why I want to stress that these topping tail candles, especially on these small cap gappers, are not the end all and be all, and they're not the same thing as seeing them on a different, I want to say more legitimate stock. I don't even know what that means, legitimate stock, but you guys get my drift here. So I'm still very interested on this name, and if it holds this breakout area, if it continues to hold this general area, I'm talking about 9.5, I'm a buyer again. If it loses 9.5, I'm looking for a 9 to about maybe 9.25 hold, depending on where the moving averages are at the time. EBLM has pulled in to the 10 EMA on the 5, and I'm 0 for 1 on EBLM, and I want to see if we can possibly do a little bit better on the second attempt, because it's been insanely respectful of said 10 EMA on the 5. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it super tight room. We're going to give it to 530. If it loses that OB, it's going to be the end of the trade.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat here. People talking about, or someone just asked me about Palantir. Satin in the chat. asking me about Palantir. What are your thoughts? Hey, man, I'm looking at Palantir right now, and I kind of mentioned this earlier as well. Sellers at VWAP off of the open. Sellers at VWAP around 1050. Sellers at VWAP at 10. God. Sellers at VWAP at 1045. Guess where I'm waiting for sellers to come in?
VWAP.
Boom. All right, so that potentially going to be in the next trade, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm going to wait for price action to come in into that VWAP, and then maybe observe some of the tape there, looking for those sellers. Right? I want to actually see the confirmation of sellers on the tape, and then maybe potentially get involved in and around some of those areas there. But we'll see. Maybe they can step down. 175 is a bit of an interesting area. We clipped this 174-day low. We came all the way back in. A nice little reversion to VWAP's quick scalp on this one. And then the reversion of the reversion, or the continuation of the bigger picture trend on the intraday, kind of continues and gives us some fresh lows, 173.48. So I like that, but I'm watching it. Nothing too crazy. If sellers want to step in down here at 175, that's cool as well. TSM actually breaking high of day right now. So that's something else that I have on watch alongside this. Palantir, but yeah, it's a great look on Palantir, man. I think it's definitely well within play and something we should be watching. But I also like some of these China stocks as well, TSM being one of them. You can see how strong that is. Consolidation above 300. So not only do we reclaim opening range high, we pull up all the way $2 above, break out of the 300 level, pull back into opening range high. That resistance turned into support, and that support is stepping up right now with the buyers stepping it up above high a day, printing some fresh prices. So I like the strength on TSM, but I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it up here. I don't necessarily want to buy a breakout as of right now at this time of day, or in this kind of maybe when the market is kind of consolidating sideways. But I think along, definitely it gave it to you multiple times over on TSM here. So yeah, no, Mike P. DeRider in the chat was talking about how the Tetris movie was a really good movie. I love that movie. It actually caught me by surprise.
Was it?
I thought, yeah, it was the whole story on how the Tetris game kind of came to be, because the rights of the game were held by, I think it was a Russian dude?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it was created by a Russian guy.
Yeah, it was a Russian guy, and then they didn't let it get out of the country, but then it was already out there, and there was a whole bunch of stuff around like the right, and it was actually an amazing story. I think it's a solid movie. I'm not doing justice at all. But yeah, let's see.
All right, Oba, I gotta interrupt, brother. ELBM is breaking out, guys. Here we go. We've got 43s on. We just took out 85s. This one is up 250%. It's got a 616 high, but as I see it, it is a $6 level of resistance. So that is the level I'm going to be looking to fight with here on ELBM if we do get back into 6. Now, here's the deal. We didn't close any of the prints north of 6. All the moves above 6 are wick and wick only. So be anticipating some resistance into that $6 area. Now, if we get a closing candle on the 5-minute chart above that $6 level, I think that changes things, and it certainly changes my opinion. I'll be looking to get in a bit more aggressively there, but for the moment, we added aggressively into that 10 EMA. We were rewarded because this one has absolutely respected that green line, which of course on my side charts will always be the 10 exponential. Look at this, not one closing print. I was gonna say nary a print, I got it. Nary a closing print below that 10 EMA, but you did get wicked. So do not place your stop in an area where you're likely to get wicked out. And if you look at the 10 EMA here, it's been breached multiple times on a wick basis. So if that's the case, then it doesn't make any sense to put your stop below the 10 EMA. I would either put it at prior bar low, or I'd be putting it below the 20, which obviously means that you have to get a little bit more risky. So keep an eye out on that, and we'll send it to the big desk.
Just keep an eye here on BKKT backed holdings. Getting a little bit of a bounce here. Mike Alfred, I guess a member of their board, just said that he finished his first official session of the board meeting with the full board of backed holdings, and basically teased that they're working on some cool things. He said, quote, "I look forward to telling you more about what we're working on." Either way, even though that's really not a lot of information, BKKT pushing higher, backed holdings, again, on watch to the upside. NVIDIA also on watch. Power Integrations, which is a company that does, I guess, high voltage conversion, is announcing some work here with NVDA. I believe that came out about 20 minutes ago. I'm seeing it circulate, though, in social media right now. NVDA pushing higher. Back to you.
All right. Thank you for that. We're going to keep an eye here on STI. Look at what STI is doing. Now, look, you're going to have to manage risk fundamentally differently on STI than you would on an AQMS or an EBLM. They're not trading the same. They don't have the same price. They don't have the same spread. They don't have the same price action characteristic, okay? So here's the deal. This one, to me, screaming 1350. Many reasons I feel that way. Look at that pre-market high. Yes, 1350. Institutional level prints at 8 a.m., 1350. First halt level at 10:35. Can you guess what it is? I'll let you guys guess. 10 EMA on the 5 into the pullbacks. I'll give you that guess as well. So here's the deal. I don't expect this one to respect the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 in the same way that I did with the others. Why is that? Well, look at the amount of breaches that we have with the 10 EMA and the price action. It looks more akin to a line of best fit than a support level. So you're not going to see me catching a bid here at 1450 where the current 10 EMA is waiting. I'm going to look for price action support, previously resistance. That to me screams 1350. Now, the deal is it may not come right into your 1350 area or your 1360s. So what I want to do is create a buy zone where I like this. To me, that looks to be around 14 to 1350. I could get in possibly a little bit of the position ahead of that 1350 and then maybe work my way closer to it with the majority of the position there. But here goes EBLM. We're still nursing this. We've got 43s on, and here comes $6 again. We're showing that mid-80s seller in the same way that we saw him on that last little ascent. Let's see if we're able to take out that mid-80s seller, and then we'll have to start dealing with the 90s, mid-90s seller. Again, I still have a bias that EBLM has resistance at $6. Here's the high 80s. We can't shake the seller in the high 80s. 85, 86, generally where you're getting the sell here on EBLM. Continuing to watch. Let's watch. There's nothing for me to do at the moment other than just to continue to watch the price action to spot where the sellers are coming in at any one time. And if there are any buyers backstopping me, it's so easy for a long focused trader to always look at the ask side of the level too, because I want to see any big sell orders are going to prevent me from ascending. But it's equally as important to look at who's going to backstop me if a big sell order comes in. And to determine that, I look at the buy orders coming in. Are there any big buy orders coming in at specific levels that I can say, you know, maybe I can rest easy for a little bit because there's 10,000 lots waiting at 570. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying that there is, in fact, 10,000 lots at 570 here. Here we go. We're zigging and zagging with 575. So it looks either we're going to get a lower high here, not having reached 6 this time around, or we're going to zig and zag until we can get that seller taken out. But here we go. AQMS breaking out again. So pulls back into VWAP. 10 EMA, double bottoms, and takes out 10. And this is the first time we'll actually close above 10 if this candle, which is going to close in 2 minutes, actually stays above that $10 area. We've been above 10, but the last little topping tail candle couldn't close above that $10 level. So this will be the first time on the day. So let's see if we can get in anything here and then possibly use the prior bar low as our backstop. So continuing to watch here. Let's see if the buyers are stepping in. Buyer at 5s, hidden buyer, won't be convinced any different. So there's a hidden buyer at 10.05 here on AQMS. Let's see if we come back into that level and whether he steps in again. Pack in the patience. Don't need to enter or do anything at the moment other than to tape watch. Let's see. Now we've got a buyer stepping in at 15. Hidden buyer, both at 5 and 15. And there it goes into the $0.25. So we now know there's a hidden buyer who's backstopping the price drops. That's trouble for the shorts. We know that for a fact. All right, let's continue to watch here. 10.5 now with about 30 seconds left on this candle. Sorry, 5 seconds left. This will be the first time we close above that $10 area on the day if we close this way. Pack in the patience, pack in the patience. All right, 10.5 resistance, but we buy it up. This is the highest we've been up all day. Let's go ahead and get in a little bit over here looking for that 10 continuation. We're going to send it to the big desk.
Of course, there's a lot to discuss with crypto. We know crypto moved to the downside along with everything else on Friday as we got those heightened trade tensions between the U.S. and China, specifically with regards to export controls. But I want to discuss something of an urban legend that was mentioned here by Unusual Whales as a result of, I guess, this crypto moves on Friday. According to Unusual Whales here, which is an account on X known for pointing out potential insider trading situations, they basically posted here that a new crypto wallet was created on Friday, a brand new wallet that started shorting the market, I guess, hours before Trump started posting about tariffs. Their last short was placed just 1 minute before Trump's tariff post on Friday after the bell, where he did announce those 100% tariffs on China. Interesting point there. They actually made nearly $200 million in profit. So I did want to address that. I don't know if a fun fact is the right word, but interesting trade on watch here with regards to the crypto space on Friday. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. I'll move to the daily chart for you guys. BTC had quite the move on Friday, highs here of around 122,600, lows all the way below 108,000. 108,000 has been a key level of support for BTC, as you can see. However, Bitcoin, as of the end of Friday, there was able to bounce back a little bit and more or less hold at 108,000 support level. Right now, very much waffling here around that 15,000 level. Let's see if BTC decides to kind of push back above and reclaim 116,000. We'll take a look here at Ethereum for you guys as well. ETH looking almost identical to Bitcoin, but the support, instead of that 108,000 level, was found at another previous level of support for Ethereum, specifically just below 3,600. Back to you.
Traders go, oh, wow, Ob, wow. The small caps are absolutely parabolic today. Look at this move into AQMS, man. We get in at the $0.25, and within seconds, we're $1 in the money. And here it is. We're going to halt at 11:35. Watch out here. Let's see if this actually halts or whether this is going to be a false halt. We need about 4 or 5 more seconds at this level. AQMS now up 100%, and there is the gray out. We are halted to the upside on AQMS. Today is very, very strong in small cap gapper world. You need to be alive to these days, and not just because you have to trade, but because it really should affect your position sizing. Okay, this is the type of day where we see, you know, 6 figures with some online traders. So be on the lookout here. AQMS halted to the upside. This is not the first time it's been halted on the day. 11:34. It's showing me a tap currently flat. 11:34 having halted. 11:32.33. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. What really got me interested and what got me aggressively into this was just the ridiculous respect that it keeps showing for the 10 EMA and or VWAP, which for me, this has got to be a new one for me. Usually when price action develops in this fashion, they're not overlapping, but they're continuing to overlap. The white line is the volume weighted average price. The green line is the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And, you know, they're taking turns about which one's higher than the other. But the fact of the matter is, for the most part, they are overlapping. So I don't need to worry about which one it's respecting at the moment. Maybe when they start diverging, then we'll have to get a little bit more nuanced with it. But the strength today on small cap gappers really should be noted. But let's just make sure that, you know, it's going to continue in this way, and be on the lookout for any signs of impending weakness. So I'm quite pleased with how the trading has been today. I'm still holding a piece over here on ELBM. We're in at 43. I'm looking for a hold at the 10 EMA, but I am concerned now with this specific trade because we are starting to put lower highs, lower than that $6 area. So it feels like maybe the shorts are now starting to look at $6 as like kind of the launching pad off which to take this bad boy down. And if they're going to do that, have at it, baby, but I'm not going to participate in any DCAs. So a loss of the $0.50 ends the trade for me, and that by definition will mean a profitable trade on the last remaining amount because we are in at 43s. If it holds up at the 10 EMA, I can always choose to get back in. I don't need to choose to be in the negative by dollar cost averaging into an oblivion, especially having not planned that. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one, and we'll see what else is available. Before I send you back to Ob, I want to remind you guys that STI is continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. I'm unlikely to want to touch this at all unless it comes into that 14, 13, 50 area about which we spoke. But punching in at highs, given the spread and given the volatility, is of no interest to me, Ob. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one, and we'll see what we can do.
Yes, sir. So I'm keeping eyes on this AVGO. So we know this thing had some catalysts in the morning session. You might have heard a little bit of a deal with OpenAI. We've been seeing this kind of catalyst come into a few different names. We saw it on Oracle. We saw it on AMD. Now we're seeing a little bit of it on AVGO. Breaking a little bit of structure is what I'm looking at as of right now. So VWAP lows were in and around 353s. We've held that pretty well for a decent part of the morning session, but finally making those high lower highs there. Sellers already in charge off of the open. I was watching this a little earlier, that 360, but I was like, I don't know in the pre-market, do I really want to risk $12 all the way up to 372s? But that came in real nice. That reversion was absolutely beautiful, giving us over a 50% retracement of that initial leg. But excuse me, it seems like sellers are stepping right back in as of right now. We couldn't really get too far. A bit of this inside day here on AVGO. We attempt to break the opening range high, and we're pulling right back into VWAP as of right now. So nothing too crazy. Let me know in the chat what you guys are up to, and I want to take a look at some of those other names as well. Janveer in the chat saying CRML. Oh boy.
I love that one, Ob.
I was having some,
Here comes the pun.
There was some caramel jokes happening for sure in the chat, and this one was quite sweet off of the open. Critical metals, another name in rare earth that is running absolutely crazy here. Pulls back all the way down to VWAP. You thought the reversion was nice, but the buyers are still very well in charge on this name here as it pushes a little bit higher. 2207s on this one. So. Yeah, I do have it on watch. Good look there. But a lot of these names that have this kind of strength, Sharif, I'm waiting and watching. Yeah. MP might look nice. You know me, I like the reversions, and I'm like, if something's gonna run, I'm gonna let it run. Like, trend traders, go for it.
98, 95 high.
Yeah, 98,
Can I say
95.
something to you? This is a position I've been in a while, ever since the Pentagon took a move.
Nice.
I go in last night, I'm like, let me look at the materials names because of what happened on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So I go on Blue Ocean, right? Like the DGen IM, 7:30, I'm waiting, right? Because what happens is these blank out at 7:30.
Right.
And they blank out, and then they and then at 8, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I look, dude, it's a $1 spread. So I post on Blue Ocean at 81.5. Because it's gapping up already.
Yeah.
Dude, it not as liquid as I thought, obviously.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have too much experience with Blue Ocean to be
it'll teach you.
It taught me a lesson.
I'll let you finish.
I'm trying to add more. End of the story, I was trying to
add
add more, couldn't get more. Without chasing it.
No, man, that's the thing with Blue Ocean. Blue Ocean, like the first time, it's funny. I was sizing in lightly. I'm like, okay, just as kind of dropping. Let me kind of get involved here. And the bid falls another $1. And then it falls another $1. I'm like, all right, how far can it go? Drops another $1. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see. I got more ammunition. I can definitely push into it a little bit more. It just dropped. There is just air. The bid just every time the bid gets taken out for any sort of size, it just drops even more. And I was just like, oh boy. That's absolutely crazy. And that was my first experience. I was just like, all right, pretty much down almost a full shutdown on that drop. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't tripping. And I'm like, all right, cool. I understand how this thing moves.
Okay.
And then when the buyers stepped right back in, I was like, boom. I was just like,
rocketing.
Okay. Just as soon as they stepped back in, I'm like, okay, now I know. Like, I got a feel for it. I pushed into everything I could, and then just took it back. But that's what you have to know. It's like when it goes, it goes. And if you want it and you see that it's going, you have to be willing to remove liquidity. You can't care because best believe if you don't do it, somebody else will. Somebody else will. Like last night, Blue Ocean was absolutely crazy. I
need more practice.
I don't know if I don't know if I want to show. Yeah, I'll show my trade. Why not? I'll show my trade. Let me pull it up. But like it just goes to show, like, why did I stay up till 4 a.m.? Absolutely crazy. Like,
there's got to be a good reason.
I mean, there might be a good reason, but I think the bigger reason, like I said before, I was like I'm a little somewhat addicted to Pokemon. I just had like this epiphany, like last week. I'm like, I just feel like playing Pokemon Fire Red. Like I grew up playing it when I was a kid. It came out in 2004.
Oh wow!
So I downloaded an emulator on my phone. I'm just playing, and I'm like, I'm watching my position. I'm like, I don't want to get emotionally involved with the position.
And
it's working for me. So I just need a thing, and I'm just grinding. I'm like looking up every 5 minutes. I'm like, I wish I could take more. but I'm maxed out, so I'm just like, I have what I have. I need more buying power in BL. Please give me more buying power if you're listening.
IB?
But, yeah, exactly.
Hey,
yeah, let me pull up the chart here.
Pull it up.
And we can talk about what it did. There was a lot of names that kind of did similar price action in Blue Ocean last night, but that's a beautiful thing about real trading here, that we have the ability to kind of trade all of these markets. How about we open the link? Here we go. Boom. I don't know if this will let me zoom in that well. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, can you take over for
Absolutely.
2 seconds?
All right, guys. I'm watching ELBM again. So we got out of this one because it was losing the 10. It's still putting in lower highs. So it's not like I've got, a glowing endorsement from the name. Hey, take me long. No, I mean, all I see is this support level, AKA the 10 EMA, holding on for dear life. And I see far more aggressive lower highs than I see higher lows. So it has me in a situation where I don't know exactly how to execute. Do I get in here, give it to prior area low? By prior area low, I mean exactly where I got in there. And I got in at 540 for a reason. Clearly it was a flat top, 540, 550 as we've discussed. Yeah, but it feels to me still that this one has the sellers in control locally. And I want to say locally because we're still above the 10 EMA on the 5. So it's not like exactly like the sellers are taking this one all the way down. Moving back to AQMS, the two that we've been trading, AQMS just popped through 12 into another high of day. And here we go again on AQMS. It's going to take out the $0.50. It's a 46-penny high of day now, over 100% in Greensville today. Zigging and zagging with 12. Be on the lookout. Current bar low, though, I want to say is at 11. So you've got $1.50 worth of range on this 5-minute candle, meaning that if you're to put it at prior bar low, you've got to put it below 11 because prior bar low is 1093. So you've got to figure out a different way to manage risk here, because I don't know, but if you're sizing in substantially, $1.50 may not be the move here to give it with respect for your stop. So I'm continuing to watch here, OB. We're putting in higher lows and higher highs, but there's definitely a bit of a tug of war happening between buyers and sellers into this $12 area. But yeah, man, the buyers are still winning because, well, we're about $2 higher than VWAP right now. So that's my look on AQMS. I wanted to set up in a bit of cleaner of a way to get into a key level, show me some support, and then we can talk. And then just before we send it back to OB to see that awesome trade he had from yesterday, I want to mention IPDN seems to be setting up possibly here a flat top breakthrough 395.4. It's holding generally that 380, 385 area. And it has an initial bull flag right at 930. And then we all know 2 bull flags are not created equal. We're kind of in a consolidative mode of this current one right now. It's up 31.25. I'm talking about IPDN, OB.
Yes, sir. So yes, I finally pulled it up here. So this was the action on Blue Ocean here last night. So we opened up. This is Tesla. We opened up 413.50s, and this is what I mean. Especially when this is a minute candle, right? Now, if that volume comes in, it's just straight. It just goes, right? So it's like, sure, if you're fast enough, you take it. So 413.5s all the way up to 425s, straight rip on the initial push. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I see that, and I'm like, absolutely wild. I didn't participate in it. But again, it's one of those moments where I'm like, that's obviously a little bit of an extended move. The reversion in the short came in real nice off of it. But I was sitting there, I was observing. I'm like, Neil, you hear Neil say this all the time. You got to miss the trade to make the trade.
Okay.
Right? So it's just like, all right, I missed the long, sure, that there's no way that all of that pretty much happened in the first minute. I missed the short. The short was nice on this kind of structure breakdown. You can even look at this breakdown of this kind of a low here. But when it did start to overextend, I'm like, all right, there were aggressive buyers all the way from 13s to 20s, and it starts puking. It starts puking. They're just wiping the bid. I'm like, all right, I like this. I'm willing to buy a little bit of a range here because it kind of sets up for me. I like the price action. I like the tape. And I'm going to give it a little bit of room. So I start buying slowly. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know what these prices are. I don't care. I'm trading price action, right? So I'm just like, all right, this is the kind of action I definitely want to participate in. So start getting long. But take a look at this. These longs are all the way at 1130. right? 11:30. So let's kind of zoom out here. So 11:30, these lows come in, and now I'm just watching it. I have my stops in. I'm seeing this action right here. Very, very convincing. That's a real wick. Comes down to 416. Buddy steps right in instantly. Wipes it up 17. I'm like, all right, confirmation of buyers, right? I'm like, I have no more buying power left to buy any more of this area. So I'm like, all right, no reason to sell this until it works. So I'm just watching. I'm watching it.
Oh, that's
you
nice.
know, I'm eating dinner. I'm doing whatever. This is
good patience, brother.
That's 2:30 a.m.
That's crazy.
2:30 a.m. I'm just like, all right, we finally got here. And then I reload so I got out majority of it, and I'm like, okay, no, this is going to do a little bit more, and we might even see some of these highs at 425s. And like, boom, boom, get right back into everything and just piece it off into strength. 3:30, I'm like, all right, good night. I gotta be on the show tomorrow, so I gotta go to bed. So this is what I mean. Absolutely crazy. So like, you guys talking about, like,
man.
I gotta be patient for those trades. When the trade shows up, I'm more than willing to take the trade. I'm more than willing to participate. And you know, sometimes the hold time, we were talking about hold times in the morning. Sometimes the hold time is, you know, a couple of minutes. Sometimes the hold time is 4 hours. You know,
well, yeah,
it's just, it doesn't matter. It's like, what is the kind of price action I'm looking for? Is it panning out on the time frame that makes sense to me? And as long as continuing to do that, there's no reason to get out, right? Okay. So the only reason was our arbitrary target at VWAP. But when it showed me that, okay, no, we're still going to continue this momentum, and just got right back in and took that piece as well. So that was the blue ocean from last night. But you know, patience definitely paid. I don't know if you know, Wayne was just like, I don't know. It's an increasing negative EV the longer you stay awake, because the lack of sleep can definitely carry over into the lack of decision making today, which can be like, all right, maybe you made some there, but you're poised to kind of maybe not make the best decisions on the lack of sleep. So I went to bed around 4 o'clock, and then I think I woke up around 7.
That's intense, Ob. That's intense,
that's what I'm on right now. A little bit of coffee is definitely required, which reminds me, I left it at the thing, so I might go grab that real quick. But that was a trade on Blue Ocean.
Good luck, Ob.
I'm just waiting for the next trade. I'm not worried, dude. I'm not worried. When it shows up, I'm more than capable of taking it. So I just have to wait for those opportunities. Why should I just try to shoot at anything and everything that moves? That's not how. It's not my style, right? Everybody has different styles, and whatever works for them. I've seen traders trade in ways that I feel so uncomfortable trading. I probably wouldn't trade like that, but I know there's an edge there, and I know that makes money.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's just like it's to each their own, and some, you know, I'm a little bit more I realize I'm just a little bit more maybe lazy, maybe laid back. I'm just like, show me. Fall into my lap. Like, let the trade fall into my lap, and then I'll be like, all right, well, if you're gonna scream at me like that, I gotta participate.
You're gonna yell. If you're gonna raise your voice,
you're gonna yell at me. Of course, I'm gonna
participate. I like that, Ob. I like that. So, Oba, we gotta cover AQMS again, because we got another new high of day, 85s. We got in on the break of 12. We're taking out through 12.5. So I'm liking this trade. Here we go again. There's a new high of day. It's 1290. What I'm looking at is my side charts, guys. 1295s, 1299. It's just a matter of time till that 13 seller gets decimated. Run for your life, bro. Why are you standing in front of this? 1320 high. I don't know where the halt parameters are. 1321 high, 22. Selling coming in now, dropping below 13. Very good strength today on AQMS. And it's only done about 8.5 million shares. It feels like way, way more. I mean, is that even right? There's no way this has only done 8.5 million shares. It's only 8.5 million shares. I guess maybe because it was doing bubkiss in the pre. But there it is. Here we go again. We're trying to reclaim $13. So let's keep an eye here on AQMS. I want to give you an idea of some current levels. Current bar low on the 5, 1136, prior bar low, 1105. So you know there's buyers at 11, and the prior bar low is 1093. So the buyers certainly stepping in at 11s, and you can see that very clearly here on the micro time frame at 1. We used 11 as a resistance, hence why I was getting out aggressively on the break of 11 the first time around, and then we clear it. We hold 11 like a glove. So $11 at least for the moment, and intraday at these levels is a price price action support level, so that should factor into your decision making. Separately, GWH, another 100% winner and a multi-day runner. We were talking about this one on Friday. We were talking about this for multiple days. One of the days was Friday. And look at that continuation today. Higher highs, higher lows. We easily hold that 420, 415, something like that area close on Friday in the pre-market. In fact, we use that level as our support level around 4 to 5 a.m. And then all hell broke loose at 5:30, and this one rocketed above the pre-market high of 475, and it made a new pre-market high through 7, and then it made another new pre-market high at 7 o'clock into $8, and now we finally took out, yes, that said pre-market high, and it is now tradable under my system, 8.5, 856. GWH is going here, guys. We're gonna have to load this up on a trading screen now that it has met my rules for small cap gapper trading. So again, if you're a newer viewer and you're wondering what is this guy talking about rules, all I see is this guy punching into positions. No, typically what I want is for 2 factors to be met, sometimes a little bit more. Those 2 factors are that if it was trading in the pre-market, which a lot of these small caps do, look at this thing go, man. 875, the breakout is on. 78, 80. Here we go with GWH. So if this was trading in the pre-market, I need it to be trading above that pre-market high during regular trading hours. That means 9:30 onwards. And if it's trading above that high, it also has to be trading above the volume weighted average price, VWAP, for me to get involved. I can wait for it to get above VWAP. I won't just cancel it because it's not. It could still be playable, but I just won't enter it at that time if it's trading below, because to me, that says the sellers are in control as opposed to the buyers. That's one thing. Then the kind of the pseudo rule that I have is the volume rule, right? Like I generally want to see this one doing about over 1 million shares of volume. But as of late, I've had to kind of make exceptions to that rule because a lot of them, we're not doing volume because the pickings were super slim. So instead of just sitting on my hands for 3 hours, I was sort of forced to adjust some of those rules and make entries into stocks that we're not doing the requisite volume. We're going to the big desk. Oh, no more. Okay. So GWH continuing to go over here. So watching this one as it touches 880. What's the move though? What the move to me is that $8 area. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. No, the move to me is that $8 area. I see once, twice, OB, he is the one thrice into $8. Yeah. It couldn't break. So if it wants to come back in $8 and test it, and the buyers step in, that's the most important part. It's not just I'm not in love with the $8 level for the sake of being in love with it. I like it because I'm anticipating buyers stepping in at that level. Whether or not they do, that's a different story. So we're going to keep tabs on that, and we're going to be looking to get in at around that $8 buying zone. But it is 887, and here we go again. Oh, we're going to take out that high of the day. It does feel like we are destined, at least for the moment, on GWH to break 9. And if we get that close, we get to 9, we might as well get to 10, right? Like, I mean, that's just a natural extension. I'm exaggerating, of course, but that typically is the case. You will probably get a break above 9 and maybe an attempt at 10. If that's the case, then I certainly want to participate with that. Last but not least, before we send it back to OB, SOAR has a flat top around 290. This one looks like it's destined to break out, hit 3. You could size in aggressively with this one and then, give it to maybe the loss of 280. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on, OB. How about yourself?
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat pointing out quantum names. So Rigetti just had a crazy move here. A little bit of a swipe up into 52 and a strong pullback back into 50. That's a little bit distinct, man. Short's getting absolutely blasted on this name, kind of back-to-back days here overall, and it continues to print some fresh highs here. So in and around this $50 level should be interesting. I got eyes on after that swipe up into 52s, and sellers going to step right back in. Another name people are looking at are QUBT, of course, and QBTS. So yeah, I do have some of these on watch. You can see that QBTS relatively stronger than the rest of them. It's still holding within the upper quartile of its price action, currently trading at 37.40. 138s as of right now. I don't know, a little bit of a swipe up into 38s. 38.08. So what was that prior high? 38.07. This is what I mean. 1 penny swipe and then slam right back in for about a 50 penny drop. So yeah, the action's definitely there. I don't know how it can effectively exercise on that one. But I'm looking for anything that's doing something unusual. Is it trending? Is it overextended? And there's one thing right away as I'm scrolling through and looking through some of my baskets here. ARM looking a little strong here. Might be hitting the gym. 167 halves. So a bit of a gap up push right there. Yeah, but tush. Definitely 162s, 167s as of right now. Sellers came in Friday, 169s. We know they came in across the board here, but a bit of a reversion happening on ARM. We know bigger picture, this thing has been pretty strong, Sharif. Looking at it on a higher time frame, you can see it's been kind of slowly, methodically trending up, holding structure a little bit higher. Since April, you can see here 130s held well, and then we're just hitting the high of the range here at 170s as of right now. On ARM holdings, let's see what else is happening here. Let me know in the chat as well. We can't have eyes on everything. That's why, as a community, definitely a little bit better to participate in the watch, in the hunt, and then bringing attention to potential plays to each other. You don't have to take them, but it's good to keep eyes on. And if they align with my playbook, I'm more than willing to take a little bit of a stab. Right? I don't really see anything too crazy right now. Hathik in the chat saying Google, so let's take a look at that one there. Okay, high a day, 242s, I like that, nice strength, but here's the thing, maybe you got to keep eyes on, but because it's been selling off pretty aggressively, right? We had selling on Thursday, and then obviously selling on Friday as well, which broke prior day's low, holding that structure, that support, turning into intraday resistance going into the end of day here on Google. Guess what? Support, turn into resistance, turn into support this morning as we gap up and push a little bit higher. So I like that, but we're pushing up into places. If a chart is respecting like recent support and resistance levels, I'm going to put a little bit more weighting on recent support and resistance levels. And just looking at prior day, 244s is high a day. Sellers really stepping in and around 242, 243s, and we're just quite in that range right now, in that area, 242 halves trading on Google. So I am watching Google. Let's see what that has in store for us today, but nothing too crazy just yet. Maybe if it can get up a little bit higher into 243s and alert me to some sort of things, maybe I get involved. But oh boy, this USAR, that's the reversion here, man. USAR, almost 100% reversion here, all the way back down. So a high day of 43.97s. That thing, another rare earth name that did run pretty aggressively off the morning session. But you can see none of these are kind of acting similarly to each other. They had the run in the morning. Some of them have pulled back a lot more than others. Some of them are still holding their highs. So it's like the sentiment is not equally distributed.
No,
right?
Certainly not.
The distribution is not there. So it's just like they're kind of doing their own thing, but they have a general bid. I find that interesting when certain things within the same kind of theme or sector, or however you want to call it, start to disconnect and move on their own. Yeah, it's interesting to watch here. So USAR with a pullback, TMC with a significant pullback as well. TMC might just
I got to cover this, brother. Guys, LITM is rocketing up, and I've been long here since 620. It's taking out 7. This thing is absolutely rocketing up. It's going to halt at 705, guys. Here we go again with this one. False halt into 705. Now we get a reinitiation of the halt parameter. It's going to do this for 10 seconds. This is Bhavan's call. Shout out to Bhavan Patel, man. He brought my attention to LITM, and look at this one go. I'm willing to bet they do something with lithium here, with a ticker like LITM. Don't embarrass me, please. Critical minerals, good. They do uranium as well, so not just only lithium. What a move up, Bhavan. Great call out by you, brother. We added aggressively initially. We got in a small position at 30, scalped up into 55s. It dipped back down. I added into 50, scalped up again, added into 75, and took it into 7, man. Absolutely beautiful trade this time around. I'm happy with how I executed this. If I wish I would have done a little bit better by waiting for that $7 break. I don't know why I was so gung-ho to get out in the 80s, because the spread spread had opened up, I worried. I saw it posting something like 95s, and then the bid dropped back down in the low 70s. I panicked. I shouldn't have done that. I was worried that the bid was dropping off and the buyers were, you know, drying up, and it wasn't that way at all. It ended up rocketing through that level. It is now halted, 704, up 57%. It's showing a theoretical auction price of $7.10, having halted at 1158.52. The earliest this one will be open is 1203.52. So get ready. Let's see if it's gonna, you know, have a tap above the halt price, which again is 704. So I'm keeping my eye there, but I want to bring your attention as well to AQMS. This one looks like it's going to be a 10-minute halt, okay? If not more. Why do I say that? 11:53.45. We should have been opening up at 11:58.45. We didn't, obviously. So this one looks like it's going to be at least 10 minutes into at least 12:03.45. So we'll see when we get in and around that time slot. But GWH continues to rocket up. So there's that 983 we're talking about. 10, I told you guys, you get into that $9 area with that kind of strength, almost certainly you're going to glance, if not wink at, that $10 level. And you give it a good opportunity there, GWH. You got into 983, 17 pennies off that 10, but now you're dropping like a stone. 983, now we're 885. So we're losing it pretty quickly. But again, guys, I really want to bring your attention to that breakout level between 8 to 8.25. I'm a buyer, so long as I like what I see in that level, right? And the reason I say that, former area of resistance, looking to act as support. I'm talking about GWH with that 8.25 level. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Excuse me. So that's what I've got there. Let's move back to LITM and see what the top is. Oh boy. Now the top is showing 730. We halted at 704, so we know that there's a buy-side imbalance brewing right now during the halt. But again, let's make sure that this one is going to be a, you know, a 5-minute halt before we get very excited. And the reason I say that is because, you know, typically it's not a hard and fast rule. The longer you're halted, you know, the more worried people get, so they start putting out sell orders as opposed to buy orders. And last but not least, before we send it back to OB, SOAR is taking out levels. What is this, on the New York? No, it's on the MX. Okay, SOAR, guys, it flat top broke through that 290-ish area that we were talking about. Look at the amount of rejections. Bottom chart there, guys. Look at this. Rejections, all at 290, essentially from... What the hell time slot is this? I can't even see because this thing won't show me. All right, there we go. The time slot on that is 10:35. 10:35 till basically when we just went on the show over here, 11:55. Finally, we get the break above 290. So SOAR also in play here to the high side. Trade it carefully, though. Shout out to Bovin. Bovin also talking about Hover, HOVR. This one is pretty good too, Bovin. It's just a little bit light on volume, having only traded 1.5 million shares, but put some respect on that trend line's name, or that price action's name right there, man. It's not even pulling back into the 10 EMA. So HOVR up 27.5%, trading right at the day high, 372. Shout out to Bovin. Good look there. You didn't happen to watch the Jays game yesterday while you were up in that Tesla trade, did you?
No, I don't.
You didn't look over to see Go Sports? There was nothing. I didn't
really see. No. I didn't even know there was one on, to be honest. But that's just
we lost, Obe. We lost 3-1.
I mean, we've been on a bit of
like a pitching duo. Yeah, we couldn't hit a beach ball yesterday, brother. It was a tough go. They got some serious pitchers, though. Let me tell you. And you could just see that based upon the Seattle Mariners, the team we're playing. They were playing the Detroit Tigers in the DS, and you could just see from the nature of their games, low scoring. And so you could tell, like, they were super into, like, the pitching side of things.
There's much stronger pitchers on
pitchers, and that usually means low-scoring games, pitchers, duels, right? We'll see how it all works out. But
I think we're gonna be right back from Madeira.
Okay.
Keep an eye here on SARO, Standard Arrow, pushing to the upside. So not SOAR, which is also moving, but SARO pushing higher. Representative Gil Cisneros Gets disclosed roughly $400,000 worth of buys in September. I'm not seeing how much this specific SARO purchase was, but this is significant because apparently he is the only representative to have purchased this stock, and they're in aviation, and he's a member of the House Armed Services Committee. So that is significant, guys, here with regards to this insider purchase from Gil Cisneros. Keep an eye here on Apple, Alphabet, GOOGL also on watch, set to sign a 1 gigawatt data center pack with India's Andhra Pradesh. So India data center pack here for GOOGL, and back to you.
Thank you very much. I kind of mentioned a stock earlier where, yeah, you know, sellers were very dominant. They kind of showed themselves in and around the area. That was Palantir. It's back at VWAP. I'm participating a little bit here, but we'll see. Let's see. Initial push to that VWAP area. Sellers are stepping in a little bit. I kind of got in a little anticipatorily, if that's a word there. But 176 is chopped right now. I have VWAP at 176.35s. So you can see here, kind of it pulled up into the halves, pulling all the way back down into 176s. So let's see if sellers actually step back in, and maybe we can participate a little bit with them as well. So what is some of the structure that I'm watching here? This prior high is at 75 halves. So let's see if we are going to kind of curl up and push higher. You can see the Nasdaq and the ES are pretty strong. They've come back up into their opening range highs. They're attempting to push a little bit higher, but you can see it's just straight chop, man. It's just straight chop, and we're trading below that 25,000 as well. So I got eyes on that. So here comes a little bit of a test of that 176 here on Palantir. So the question becomes simple. I'm going to keep it simple. Sellers, sellers, sellers. There were sellers that stepped down into 175 halves. Does that now turn into support? Right? We false broke or kind of tested the day low, 74s. Maybe people that are chasing the move short, punching into the lows there, 174 breakdown fails to follow through, and you get a nice reversion all the way back into VWAP, right? So that's working out pretty nicely as of right now. But yeah, VWAP has been where kind of those buyers have met those sellers and struggled to take it higher, and we've seen that price action step it down a little bit right there. So yeah, Mike P. the writer saying, let me get back to hunting. Exactly. That's what we're doing out here. We're trying to hunt for the next opportunity. So let me know what your next opportunity is. I'm just chilling. If the market pulls back, that's good confluence as well. If we start to get some structure holds as well, I like that. 175 halves. There it goes. Let's see what we do in and around those 175 halves. If buyers step back in, it's kind of like, all right, we false broke the day low. We stepped up on top of 174s, and then now do we use that resistance as support? So here's that test. I'm looking for that confirmation. Wait for that confirmation. I want to get a little bit bigger, but let's let the trade and the price action show us that we can get a little bit bigger as well. That's what I'm talking to myself out here. Just trying to make better decisions. We'll be right back from Madera.
Keep an eye here on GRND Grinder. I know we were joking about looking at this name earlier today, but this legitimately is moving here with volume. The company reportedly exploring a take private offer after a lender called some insiders loans. It was Semaphore on watch, Semaphore reporting that Grinder is exploring a take private offer. So Grinder could be going private, again, reported by Semaphore, GRND, and back to you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm just staring at the tape here on Palantir. So buyers are kind of stepping in. Let me pull up the tape for you guys here as well, so you can see it. That's still on IONQ. I don't know why. PLTR, and that is on the Nasdaq, guys. So PLTR trades on the Nasdaq. You can see here we're chilling in the 70s bidders, kind of holding it down. So we're still in that VWAP area, 176 plus minus 15, 20 pennies here. So on the initial test of that 175 half area, we did kind of hold. Buyers maybe stepping back in. So that's kind of information I'm reading. If the market wants to step up as well, very likely that this will go against me here in and around VWAP, but I'll give it some room. I'll give it some time here. The initial test did show us some sellers, so we're looking for follow through to potentially come in here. 176 retest on the day right now. Quantum as well. Oh boy, like quantum QUBT, quantum computing is what I'm looking at. The consolidation above VWAP is absolutely solid right now, and holding really, really well. Like VWAP's at $20.47, and oh boy, that's coming in real nice. As a bit of support. It's been holding, consolidating, and you can see that strength as well in the morning session. That's holding it up really well. So this is what I'm talking about. So strong leg holding above that 2020 dollar level, and then retest of that VWAP brings us buyers. So this is a good look there on that QUBT. But I got my little focus here on Palantir. I'm just chilling, waiting, watching to see if sellers can actually, contest some of these buyers. Do they even show up? I have no idea. I'm waiting for more information, but let's participate. Or this is me talking to myself. When I say let's, I like to sometimes talk. What is it? That third person or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm just like, all right, but you can't be doing this. You got to do this. Or you got to do that. I'm like, trying to talk to myself through in the position. Giving myself a little bit of in trade perspective.
I like that.
So 75 halves coming in right now. So VWAP sellers definitely there. That LTIM, I pulled it up because you had it on watch there. That reversion. I mean, you've been talking to me about some of these reversions on these small caps, and I watched them, man. Absolutely beautiful. So directional when they come in. And the thing is, like you said, you got to be quick.
You got to be super quick.
It's PvP. Like this is like ranked. If you guys are gamers, this is high level ranked, and small caps are definitely high level ranked, in my opinion. And you got to be as fast as possible, as quick as you can.
Quick as you like,
That's what
baby.
You said,
No, but seriously though, like I feel that the use of hotkeys is almost like a requirement here.
Yes,
and I'll just tell you that I don't use hotkeys on this platform for a couple of reasons. I'm not going to get into them now, but I don't, and it's a serious disadvantage because I have to keep, I'm going through 2-3 keystrokes. By the time I've done that, you know exactly what happens, right? The price has moved from the levels, so it's something that I definitely want to iron out a little bit here, but I'm not trading monster share size, as you guys know, while we're on the show. So it's, I'm not really, I don't feel like I'm missing out on all that much, right? I'm here for you guys to execute the trades for you guys so you can see the technical levels, and then I have my own money and I do my own trading, so as I've spoken about before. So here we go. We're now moving up into GWH. I've got a nice position here, looking for that 875 to hold, and here we go, popping up into the mid 90s, looking for continuation through a GWH. Has got a seller at 95. Can't shake the seller at 95. Big seller at 95. He's gone. 98s now. So the shorts are taking this in at 9 here. Here we go, blowing through 9. We get the fill finally, looking for continuation now on GWH. There it goes again, man. Nice. Looking for continuation again through 9.25. There's a 20 penny seller. Couldn't shake the 20 penny seller. Let's see if we can shake that and go through the 9.25, because that's where I'm waiting. And then above that, we're going to be waiting at closer to the $0.50. 19 seller this time. Something to be aware of, right? Keep your eye on the sell area. They were selling at 20s. Now they're moving down to 19s. There's a 20 momentarily there, showing up on the ask side, the level 2, but not blowing through it. I didn't see any 21 prints come in there. Got 90s on at the moment, looking for continuation. I certainly see the 875. I want to say 8 mid-60s area low. This is what I'm talking about right here, which caused me to get into this trade. I hadn't even been involved in GWH before, like today, obviously. So looking for continuation through 9.25 here. Definitely not trying to take out too much too quick, but let's go ahead and also post at 940 or something like that. There's a seller, and there is 925 again. GWH and the small caps today, they're on one. It behooves you to kind of gauge them and to be able to say, no, today feels like the day that I can size in. Today feels like the day that I can take aggressive breakouts. Get it, Mitch?
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, baby. GWH, baby. Mitch Hoke. All right. Here we go again, Mitch. We're looking to take out that 9.5, but the seller's stepping in aggressively again. So we've got 890s on. Packing my patience here, Obe. Know that there could be $10 in this one's future, and if there is, well, I want to participate in it, Obe. What kind of paper-handed trader would I be taking out everything at 9.25 when there's $10 possibly to be had here? So we're packing our patience, Obe.
For sure. Sometimes you definitely got to pack your patience if you're trying to take that trip. That's very, very important. You don't forget your luggage there. But yeah, coming right back up into that VWAP here on Palantir, pulling in. So let's see, it's chopping around. So this is maybe some more confirmation. We'll wait and see if sellers to actually step in. If they don't, that's fine as well. Market's kind of strong, so we got to respect that as well. And 176, what's the VWAP here? 176.34 as I have. So we're just about in and around 10 pennies. Yeah, my average is in around here as well at that VWAP, but the intention is to participate with potential sellers here. And if they're not going to be there, that's fine as well. It's showing me that it does have a little bit of strength. If it's going to bid back up and kind of reclaim and hold structure higher, that's fine. I'm more than willing to be wrong multiple times and just move on to the next one as well. Where is the next trade? That's always the mental here. And as we push a little bit higher, we'll see. QS, where's QS? QS is all the way back down to VWAP, eh? Oh boy. That thing, nice little reversion on this one as well. That came in quite nicely, all the way from 17.8s to 17.8s to 17 flats there. Beautiful, beautiful reversion to VWAP as of right now on QS. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything too much. I'm not seeing anything too crazy that really has me jumping at it, being like, all right, I gotta get aggressive with this. This is the trade, now we're really cooking. But if you guys see anything that qualifies like that for you, let me know in the chat. I'm more than willing to take a look at some of that. So KC 526 in the chat. Thank you so much.
Get it, KC.
Super chat here. Thankful for Trader TV and the entire community. We're thankful for you. Appreciate you all and happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, KC. Make sure you spend that time being thankful with your fams and loved ones.
She trades small caps.
Nice.
And she's born one day after me.
Okay.
I mean,
confluence.
Yeah, confluence. Well said. It's a perfect guy to tell, right? Like, yes. I mean, get it, Casey. All right, OB. I mean, I don't know what else to say over here. Here we are again on this one, long at 890. We took it out there at 970 on GWH. This one is giving you opportunities, and I really want to bring in the black charts here to make my point. Take a look at this buy area, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles where the bottom is very clearly demarked. 9 2/3. The wicks, generally 9 3/4 the closing prints. I say that generally, I use that loosely. GWH, but it's got a topping tail now into 875 with this current candle high of 72. Excuse me, not 75. So I don't like this topping tail candle. It's turning into an inverse hammer candle. Moreover, it is a lower high relative to that 1155 candle, which is responsible for that high of day print. And look at the bid just drop off here off GWH as it loses 9 momentarily, but I'm still a buyer and I'm going to have to throw it in order given the umpteen amount of defense we have at this 8 and 2/3. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. And look, we'll give it to 8.5, right? So we'll risk what? 23, 26 pennies on GWH to make $1, and this one gives you $1 pretty quick. So let's go ahead and throw that out there right now. It's going to be for smaller share size, of course. I'm going to wait at 75. And the reason I say that is because I want to front run the level. That's all, okay? So we're going to go ahead and wait at 875 for a buy order there on GWH. And if it loses the bid, it loses the bid. We're out at the $0.50. It's as simple as that. EBLM is awakening. And here we go again for another attempt at 6. Now, as I've mentioned, the wicks, all the closing prints reject 6. The wicks are the only thing that we're able to breach $6 with a 616 high of day. So be on the lookout here for ELBM to approach 6 with a lower high, okay? We have higher lows currently still on this one, but what I'd be looking for is a continuation of the compression pattern and a lower high. Now, if you don't get that lower high and you get a higher high, well, that's just a different story, right? That's a much more bullish story. I'm talking about ELBM, guys. It's up 250%. And it's got the goods, man. And it gave you this $5 opportunity. Sadly, I was not alive to that. I should have been more alive to that. We'll look to do a little bit better next time. So that's my look on ELBM. GWH, I've already made my point very clear. LITM, this is the one that OB was talking about as a mean reversion trade. Shout out to the OG Bovin for pointing this one out. But I'm going to keep saying it. I'll say it over and over. These ones are around for a good time, not a long time. And this is the case in point right here. And it's just really about when they're going to turn on you, because the majority of them will turn on you. The exception are the ones that are multi-day runners, where they run higher highs and higher lows for 2 and 3 days. The majority don't. If you look at them statistically, most of the small cap gappers will gap down the subsequent day. And that the reason I'm trying to emphasize that is it's a trade. It's an intra-day trade, not a falling in love with trade. So LITM coming down pretty aggressively there. Keep my eye on that, OB.
Yes, sir. So, guys, exciting news for Canadian sophisticated traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you are a tactical sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn some more.
Oh, nice. I'd like to point something out if I can.
What's going on?
So Casey was nice enough to gift 5 memberships for free.
Ooh.
But those memberships have value.
Why you gotta pause it like that?
My bad, OB. That's a little bit better, right?
Yes, thank you.
No, but what I wanted to show,
like, what's that over there?
I know, right? My bad, dude, my bad.
All good,
I know. It's only like when you pause on somebody else's face that you don't really notice. If it was paused on mine, I'd be noticing. Yes. Trust me, bro. All right, so right below the video, guys, there is that link, join. Click that to get your to membership. It's about $4.99. In fact, it is $4.99. Now, if it's showing you $6.99, it's an Apple problem. Get off your iPhone, go on a desktop, and it'll be $4.99. But why am I telling you that? Because Casey was nice enough to gift 5 different memberships. And here's what you can do with these memberships, Assassino. Let's show them. So if you go over to the Trader TV homepage, and then you click posts right there. So all our videos are here. You got to look at the top. It says posts. You weasel on down, and then look at this, Sharif's morning note with this handsome gentleman, AKA Donald Trump, and his adversary, another handsome gentleman, President Xi Jinping. And you click read more there, click that bad boy, and you get the morning note every day. It's going to give you basically the top headlines. Each story gets its own page, so it can be a bit more thorough. You got the headline, you got the details, you got support and resistance levels here, Ob. You got the trader takeaway for both the intraday and the swing traders. It's for both. It's what to look for. And yeah, this is basically sent out, you know, right around the same time that the other watch list is sent every day. So if you like that sort of thing, go ahead, click join, $4.99. It's not a bank breaker. And let me tell you one thing. My note is not the only thing you guys are going to get on that. As I've kind of teased before, this is just the first in many other value adding products are going to be behind this membership there. So get in while it's still only $4.99, because trust me, Brendo's hand is itching. He wants to increase that price right there. So shout out to the OG there. What do you got, Ob?
Yeah, as soon as, I mean, kind of seller step in, right? Seller stepped in there. I was like, boom, 176. Someone wiped the bid from 176 to 175 halves.
That's crazy.
I forgot how to number math there for a second. I'm not good with numbers. I'm not that great with quick maths. But
I like how you call it maths, though.
Yeah, quick maths.
That's very, very English of you.
1 + 1, that's 2. Quick maths.
I like it.
That's how it works.
Get it over.
Man's not hot. I'm joking. What's that guy up to?
Who?
You don't know the man's not hot guy? You don't know where that's from?
Who's that?
Like the quick maths? I gotta show you. No. It's so it always jokes. I gotta show you. Classic. But we'll be right back from Madeira.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Oh boy. Yes. Yeah. That came in pretty aggressively. So first sign of sellers kind of stepping in, but let's see. I talked about that 175 half, right? 175 half came in, tested pretty nicely, and then we popped up right back into 75s here, 175, 75s. So quarter push, quarter bounce off of the halves. So maybe this is showing us that structure is holding, and oh boy, that's pretty aggressive back to the upside as well. So you know what? I'm gonna get out of that one. That's chopping around in a way where I don't really like it as well. Oh boy, you can see that's pretty crazy. I can't really watch this effectively as of right now, but we'll be right back from Madeira.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Keep an eye here in ASP Isotopes. ASPI is the ticker. Zero Hedge calling this one the next nuclear story and saying that it could be a long idea. Also, I'm seeing here, keep an eye on any Chinese ADRs. I'm seeing that China apparently issuing implementation rules on port fees on U.S. chips. So keep an eye on this. Also, I wasn't seeing this initially on his schedule, but Donald Trump apparently going to be going live here, speaking at the Middle East Peace Summit. I will be watching that. Back to you.
All right, guys, GWH generally, still putting in those higher highs and higher, it's still generally holding 875. So I'm keeping my eye on this one. I'm trying to build a position for continuation, but it's zigging and zagging a little bit above 9, a little bit below. We got 08s on right now. So I'm looking for continuation into 9.25, maybe even another test of that 983 high of day. And then ultimately, obviously, a $10 touch or $10 break. When we get that and in what form, we've got a seller here at 4s and 5s. Let's see if we can squeeze some sellers from around this $9 area. As I mentioned, we got 08s on, but looking for a price spike up in the teens. We're posting in the teens as well as the 20s. Now it's showing me 09s, 10s. Let's see if we can continue over here. Good move into 12s momentarily, but the sell order comes in. Prior bar high, the $0.25, by the way. So keep your eye on that $0.25. That was a prior bar high. And to the low side, keep your eye again, like we talked about, 8 2/3, 8 3/4. We're going to the big desk.
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Trade the Pool. Sorry, I can't read it. I accidentally closed the read. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Take over, Ope. I'll get that. No I'll get that for a second.
So a little bit of a choppy action here on VWAP. I did get re-involved here in and around VWAP, just kind of feeling it out. But it seems like things are getting a little bit spicy in and around VWAP here on Palantir.
I can do it.
A little bit of a chop, 75 halves all the way up to 76 halves, so about a $1 chop. Both ways on this name as of right now. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit nimble. I'm definitely a little bit erratic with some of my entries, but like I said, just trying to keep it nimble and looking for much stronger trades. I would give this one maybe a little bit, I would say like a C+, but we'll be right back from Madeira.
Beat Ackman live trading competition is here, guys. October 8th to 10th. Every day, Ackman makes his move. What's your mission? Outperform him. Beat his return. Prove you've got what it takes. Then, the grand finale on October 13th. Broadcast live on Trader TV with the Trade the Pool team, obviously, in studio. Over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs. You got $25K, $50K, even $100,000 evaluation accounts. Go GWH, go, baby. All right, we're going to have to pause for a second while I take profits over here. Over 6,000, as I mentioned, plus surprise giveaways during the live show. Don't just watch. Compete, beat Ackman, win big, scan that QR code, and start trading right now. Here we go again on GWH. We talked about this 8 2/3 to 8 3/4 area hold. There are an umpteen amount of wicks that breach that level. Now we're waiting on the north side of 50. We know that 50 level has been a pesky little bugger. Why? Because there are no closing prints ahead of that 50 level. So sure, it's a 983 high day. But look at how much time we spent at that 983. Bupkis, we spent almost no time. So take the wicks by putting the resting profit takers above that $0.50. That's what I've done over here. We're waiting here at 55s. Anything below my entry ends this trade, and then we'll set up Simple as that. We'll set up at 875, 8 2/3 again. What I'm looking for is the bull flag continuation. I certainly see a bull flag over here. The best look into the bull flags on the day, might I add. Whether or not this continues into yet another bull flag, your guess is as good as mine. We can only react to the price that we see in the moment. So GWH, it's on one, it's strong, it's got a very clear area of support. Use that to your advantage, and let's make some money, baby. Here we go again, Ob. 45s, that seller coming in again at 45. And he's not hanging out for that long. There's a seller again, and there's a 49, 50, boom, oh, we take out the high. Let's go, baby. We're gonna take out more over here, Ob. There is into the high again, into 75, boom.
Good Lord. Oh boy.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
You guys better be hitting the like and subscribe button, or Neil's not coming back. No, I'm playing. So here we go, 9.99 higher. Are we going to the big dice? What I hear?
I think we're going up to the big dice.
Let's go. Get it, Mitch.
Get it. Here you guys have it. I'm up 90,000 shares there. I bought there on GWH at 904. We're up almost a full buck on 90,000 K. Let's go.
Nice. You're going to get that aggressive round of applause from me, Mitch Hoke.
Whoa,
Shout out to
took half off there. Now have 40K.
Oh, no.
Looking for this to break the 10. Let's see if we can break the 10 now.
Boom, boom, boom. Look at that momentum.
Let's keep it going. Let's see if we break 10. There we go. Money, money, money. Let's keep it going.
Oh, no. Mitch, are you looking at GWH too?
You know it.
Bang,
I was in this
Mitch.
earlier. Bang,
No,
bang,
Mitch,
bang,
Hoke's
baby.
trading
Let's
small
go.
caps. Oh,
All right,
my
now,
God. This is a great day. This is a great day. Get it, Mitch. That's a great
all right, now we're
brother.
set to stop at 977 here. You might get a wick here towards 970, but I'm willing to take 30K on the account there if we can get this over.
Boom, boom,
Let's get this up. Was watching this one earlier at 7. Got the earlier break. Now we're going through 10. Let's get through that 10.
Aggressive applause.
Nice.
I mean, you make 100K, you're going to get aggressive applause from me.
Oh, yeah.
Any day of the week. It could even be Sunday, and I might even be at church. I'll still give you aggressive applause.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, shut up. Man, my church was packed yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
There was no room, bro. And it's a cathedral. Like, there is like several thousand spots for people. Yeah, it was packed to the brim.
Wow.
There was a bishop.
Oh.
Here we go. We're taking out the high mid.
We're going to another halter.
1060. Here we go,
Halting, baby.
1060. This is a monster move right now for GWH. I hope y'all like small caps, because this is freaking exciting. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but this excites the hell out of me. Look at that move into the high, and it gives you a clean hold. That's the thing. You didn't get bamboozlement with this one, Mitch. Show them why, baby. Look how many times, OB, does it have to come into that 875, 8 2/3 to show you there are buyers sitting right there? How many times do you need to see that, right? Fantastic look here from GWH, and I love these ones. The ones that don't screw you over by, showing you, oh yeah, there's a buyer here. You get in off that buyer, and it's a bull trap, and they send you to hell. Right? So nobody needs that kind of energy in their life. I certainly don't. Now, what's the next trade, as Obi likes to say? Because this one's halted. We got to trade something, right?
Oh, boy.
STI. Look at the breakout happening in real time right now. There it goes through 8.5. Another one that's awfully respectful of trend. Most of the retracements are off the 10 exponential. The deeper retracements are very clearly off the 20. Use that to your advantage. Find out, discover, analyze the characteristic of the name that you're trading on the day. What does it seem to be doing over and over? Oh, maybe the algos are doing that. Or maybe they're, just let this thing go, bro. We were just at $18. Now we're at 9.25.
Oh, boy, you gotta catch your breath, bro. Oh, boy.
I do apologize about that. I'm muted. Keep it down,
It's crazy. When price action gets crazy like that, man, I totally understand, man. It's very, very exciting stuff, and the positions that work for you, solid. Yeah, definitely deserve a round of applause. This market's coming in here as well with a little bit of an aggressive bid, or maybe trying to get a little aggressive. We saw that nice little shake and bake that it just did over here, and pushing a little bit higher. So maybe poised for that push into that 25,000 mark. So yeah, the bid is definitely here on the market. We are attempting to break out of the opening range highs here, both on the Nasdaq and the ES. So it's a good look there on that one. So let's take a quick look-see at some of these Mag 7 stocks to see what's actually breaking out, what's giving us this push. So right off the bat, I see Alphabet, Google's taking a little bit of a push there. 243.10s continuing to push higher here on the day, reverting a decent chunk of that selling that we saw prior day, right? Okay, so let's take a quick look at Google. All right, getting stopped out of that Palantir as it continues to push higher. So all right, we pulled back in, we held structure, we're broken consolidation. I've tried it a couple times. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. You don't need to show me any more to really tell me that, okay, yeah, buyers are now probably maybe taking over a little bit, but I'll continue to watch it. 177s here is where that prior horizontal resistance from earlier is sitting in here, but Google pushing its highs as of right now. Microsoft at VWAP though, so I'm watching that one. That one's been held down at VWAP pretty much all day, so pretty decent trend happening here. VWAP sellers off open, VWAP sellers in the pre-market, VWAP sellers going into the middle of the day. Let's see if those sellers show up once again. The market though, looking a little distinctly different as we bid a bit higher. Let's take a quick look at some of those materials, those rare earth stocks from this morning here. So MP, we know a lot of people are involved in that one. Let's see if that's showing us any sort of opportunity here. Still sideways, consolidating within the upper quartile. So I'll be patient for that one here. Broadcom AVGO may be poised for a bit of a flat top breakout here. Oh. Take a look at that. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5th time it's coming in. Once again, a bit of a sandwich between these 359s and VWAP. What's going on, Mitch?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? A new position on. Let's go for it. Looking at ABAT to get hot again. So this is a nice flag pattern, right? You're getting back down there. You just did that undercut of 9. That's usually where they wash out the traders right here. So now starting to see the buying bullish engulfing candle here. Could see maybe a pullback to like 918, but as long as we can stay above 910 now, we're looking really good on this push on ABAT. Looking for this to drive back there towards the 980s and $10. Looking good there. ABAT, let's go. Batter up.
Yeah, nice one, Mitch. Yeah, good retaking of volume weighted average price and a break of trend. Let's have a look at this one. Not a bad one here from our boy Mitch at the big desk, and up 40%, mind you. Not strictly a small cap gapper, but it could be as a result of the big 40% move on the day. It's a little bit 1.1 billion market cap, but that's fine there. Let's see. Yeah, this is a nice break of trend, Mitch. Shout out to you, buddy. I'm going to pack my patience on this one for a 9.5, 975 break. I need to see a new high on this monster, but it's already breaking out. So I'm just waiting because I'm more conservative. This is breaking out. It's a very clear breakout above trend line. What I'm looking for is a 975 high. We'll pack our patience. We'll see if we get that. But look at GWH, another high of day. 1090 high. Here we go again, showing 1080s, 1070s, 1090 high. So blew through 10. We had a feeling, right? You know, we're really close to 9. You know, there's more likely than not that we hit 10, and there it is. We're not talking about 10 anymore. Now we're talking about 11 because it's a 1090 high. So very, very good strength on a GWH up 150%. Let's look now to see if it comes back into that pesky 10 level and holds it. Shout out to Dynamic Driver dropping euros in the chat. Thank you for the 5 euros. I call it the Diddy. Oh boy. I'm not going to read that.
You probably don't want to finish that sentence.
No. That's funny. Thank you for that, Dynamic Driver. And as embarrassing as that is, thank you for that. Let's see. I know we got a whole bunch of supers earlier that I didn't get a chance to look at. So let's find out what they're.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Day Trader LA. What's up? $5 super chat. Thank you. Papacito, Burro, growing again. Crazy bid. Good luck. Let's have a look at BURU. All right.
I think we're going to pass it to Mitch.
Okay, just 1 second. Mitch, you got a trade brewing there or what?
Brewing, of course, looking for that break of 11. We just double topped there, so look for a little bit of a pullback coming in here. Let's see if it can hold $10. We're looking for a little sideways action here. Not much pullback on that GWH. Want to continue on with this one and ride the 9 EMA. I'm sure it's touching it right now. Looking for that to rebuy in right now. Get back above 1050s. You see 10, that's going to be your sign to start being careful on the downside.
I like it. Here's a look at BURU. This is the daily. So let's just get rid of these. You can tell by how many times I've been trading it, given how many ticker symbols it has, because I always have to put them on for you. So BURU, kind of an inside day. I like the higher lows, and I like this hammer candle on Friday to close off the 10 EMA. So BURU could be a continuation trade here. Let's have a look at the 5-minute. Yep. Yeah, so we're getting very much like Friday. I don't want to say Friday was an inside day, but we certainly got a bit of a sell-off on the trend since that high that we put in on the 8th. So it's not giving up the ghost in an aggressive way. But yeah, I mean, not for me intraday, right? There's just not enough range there. So sorry about that. Venu, Sharif, I took VCIG on the news this morning, but no volume after market open. Any levels that is good. Small market cap, but it gave 70% growth estimates. Great look. Let's have a look at VCIG. This is a ticker that I'm familiar with because we've seen this one before. Yeah, so this is one of those ones that, just gives up the ghost super quick. I'm sorry, brother, that you got in on the news. I don't want to say this in a way that, you think that I'm like lecturing or preaching, but that's not really how I mean it at all. But don't fall in love with the story when it comes to these small
You're the professor. You are the professor.
You know what I mean, though. Like these ones, they can break your heart, right? These small cap gappers, you cannot fall in love.
No more.
You can't fall in love with these. You got to look at the TA. Yeah. If the trade is there, you follow through. If it starts giving up the ghost, you get the hell out of town. So look, it's not a good look intraday, but let me look a little bit deeper here. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, the daily is not good either. Jesus Christ. Yeah, look, I got to tell you, this is a tough look here, man. I don't know how. This is an endless reverse split to maintain compliance.
One of those
right?
ones.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. I mean, like, look at this.
I call those repeat offenders.
3 reverse splits since late 24, brother. Since late 24. So
that thing was never 11,000.
Calendar, 11. They know, right?
Yeah.
In one calendar year, we've got 3 reverse splits. I hate to say it like this, brother, but it's not a good look. And I don't know how much you're in for and what price you're in at, but I would get out until you see a definite change in daily trend, and you are not seeing that right now on the daily, right? Because right now you're out of the money, so I'm assuming you're bag holding from highs or near highs, and so the assumption is, well, can this one run? Is this a good enough news catalyst for it to run on a multi-day basis? Because intraday you're out of the money, I'm assuming. And I wouldn't be falling in love with that idea. I think there's more downside risk than upside risk to that, but you're free to trade, of course, as you want. I would get out, cut my losses at $1, $1.50, wherever you're in, and just not do it again, falling in love with headlines with these small cap gappers. Let me know how it goes, brother. I'm wishing you the best, obviously, Venu. Dynamic something or another there. The best, oh my God. Casey, we already got to. Thank you, Casey, for all that. Thankful for Trader TV and the entire community. Appreciate you all. Happy Thanksgiving. She's all class. I'm going to call her all class Casey from now on, even though that is a little too close to all class Adam. And I don't like to duplicate names, because it's quite blasphemous. But
yeah, no.
That's the look there. What do you got on your side, brother?
I'm watching this Palantir here as it pulls back in. So we kind of pulled above that prior area, pulling back in underneath VWAP here. So a little bit of a chop. I understand that Palantir is not going to be the cleanest stock more often than not, but I do want to participate a little bit and size accordingly relative to the opportunity, right? Let's see what happens. It's pulling back into my P Pro or P8 VWAP right now, 176 flats. Let's see if that can potentially come in. You can see Palantir usually has a pretty decent beta as well. That means it follows the market pretty decently. I think the last time I checked, the beta was like I'm not going to take a guess. I actually don't know. It was like 2 point something last I checked, but it could be very different right now. So let's just take a quick look at what the beta is. But it's going to be a multiple of a decent multiple. Yeah, 2.86. Is that right? No, what is that? That says a recom? What even is that? Let's see, ATR.
What the hell is even that?
Short flow. Yeah, what the hell even is that? Where am I looking? What was the stat I was looking for again?
I don't know.
Beta. Right. So you know what? We can just take a look at it together because clearly I'm a little blind right now. So there's the beta, 2.63. Okay, boom. 2.63 is the beta on that one. So you can see, kind of follows along with the market with the magnitude of 2.6. And the market's pulling back right now. So maybe a little bit of a revisit to VWAP perhaps. Let's see how that comes into fruition as we trade a little bit lower here and maybe potentially sellers step back in. I don't know. That's what I'm looking for. It could not happen as well, but staying nimble and staying level-headed is the game that I'm trying to play and get a little bit better at as well, man. So sellers stepping back in, maybe a little bit higher than I expected, but I did well to re-engage and participate in some of that action. And maybe size a little bit more aggressively as well this time around. So we'll see if it finally comes into fruition as the buyers start to look a little bit weaker than before, and the market confluence is on our side. That GWH.
Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving, Ob.
Going way higher.
No.
There it is.
No.
No.
Assassino kept hitting the keys. I love Assassino. Here we go again, Obi. We're in at 10, and there goes GWH. It's about 5 to 10 pennies off the high of the day. By the time I'm done yelling, it could be through 11. This one keeps on giving you, and it's got the same characteristic area support. It had the same thing at 8 3/4 that we talked about. It did the same thing at 9, and now it's doing the same thing at 10, and there goes 11. Ob is 11.18 high of the dang day. Keep your eye now on GWH, up 163%, zigging and zagging. Of course, it wicked into 11 now. This one will turn when, I don't know, and how and in what fashion and what price, of course, right? We don't really know when that all is going to happen, but we got a higher low and a higher high currently on the 5-minute candle, despite the fact that we are rejecting 11. So GWH keeps on giving, guys. We were initially in this one at 880, scalped up. Again, we've been dancing with this one basically all morning. Well, not all morning, since around 12 o'clock. So let's keep an eye on this one. I'm looking to set up again. It's just going to have to set up in the right way. We know that there's a buyer now at 10, having used 10 previously as resistance. The price action now using 10 as support. It is $11 that is currently resistance. Now, we are almost at the point where the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart is at $10. So that will be the double whammy, so to speak, right? Where you get the overlap between price action and technical indicators. Of course, the EMA is a technical indicator, but here we are right back at 11, knocking the door of $11 with an 11.18 high. I'm not going to punch in quite yet at this level, so we'll see exactly what we get. You know, maybe around $10. We'll wait for something to drop back down. Shout out to D. Westermeyer, man. I had 2,000 GWH shares at $3.80 on Friday. I made $1,500. But look, bro, just be grateful. D, you know that, right? We got to be grateful for the L's. You're never going to catch the top, you know, the full top or the bottom. And even if you get the bottom and the top, you're never going to have enough share size, right? Like you're always going to be mad or dissatisfied as a trader. Oh, D, that's a fantastic trade. I'm shouting you out for that. $1,500 is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, my man. And a hell of a trade by you. Keep it up. All right, what else we got over there? Haley, thanks for the 2 fun rides on GWH. She's printing money. She's got money bags there, and she's clapping up a storm in the chat there. Shout out to Haley. Who else do we got in the chat? Anybody else looking at these small cap gappers? In other words, ELBM or AQMS that we were talking about. GWH, of course. But how can we forget the biggest winner on the day? And that is, of course, STI. The reason we haven't been involved in this because it's insanely spready and more volatile. Look at it. It just popped up from 1950 to 2060. This one is all gas, no brakes. It's been predictable in its setup, but it's very expensive. It's not very expensive, you know what I mean, relatively speaking, of course. It's more expensive for a small capper. But what I'm trying to say is when you're trying to manage risk, looking at every penny, this It's got a 20 penny, 30 penny spread. There it goes. Here comes $21, guys, on STI. It's almost up 300%. There is $21. It's a 21.05 high. It's breaking out as we speak. I'd be looking for a 20-period retracement after the making of a new high. Otherwise, pick it up at the 10, DCA at the 20. If it loses a 20 by, I don't know, let's just go 3%, something like that, you get the hell out of there and you cut your losses. GWH at highs, ST at highs, EBLM just printed highs. Not that long ago, the prior 5-minute candle printed a 655 high. The small gappers are on one today. Trade them carefully, yo. Hey.
There you go. Yeah, small cappers are definitely going absolutely wild here. And, you know, the large caps are giving us some nice liquid scalps as well. I got that 177 down to 176s. So a nice dollar on that Palantir, just reverting it back into VWAP. But again, buyer step right back in, maybe on a 200 moving average. I just have like a splay of moving averages there. But structure is what I'm mainly focused on. And I think what the main thing here was that this aggressive bid, we dropped down to 75 halves, and then we got that aggressive bid all the way to 77s and some change. So I did get pretty aggressive here. If I was, let's say, I don't really want to talk about, I guess, specific sizing, but let's say if I'm in a certain amount of size here, when this 177 kind of stalls and pulls back in, there you go. That should, well, that should have stopped me out right there, but I guess it's not going to. So thank you, come again. I'll get out of that one. That should stop me out as soon as we got out of got above 76 halves, but that's fine. But like I said, I covered majority of that position all the way back down, but I was almost 10 times the size initially as I was here. You can see I'm slowly kind of building, just kind of like breadcrumbs. Remember when I said I think it was a C+ at best, so I'm not taking that much. But when it comes in and it shows me short-term price action that I think has a very high probability, I'm more than willing to exponentially size on the same trade and be like, all right, if I'm in X amount, I'm taking 20 times, 10 times, 20 times the amount for the quick push. And yeah, covering about 80, 90% in that push back down to 176s, and then it pulls back in. So all right, you know what? Chop avoided, mischief managed. Where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, it's not really doing what I'm looking for. If it's gonna continue to bid up, we're making higher lows. We talked about the false break or the buyer stepping in at the low day test. The buyer stepping up at 74 halves. Buyer stepping up 75 halves on top of the structure. Now buyers maybe potentially stepping up on top of VWAP. So, you know what? I want to be as nimble as possible. That gave me the opportunity to size aggressively, but then it didn't follow through. It didn't work as well as I was looking for. Honestly, I was looking for 175s to come in from 177s, but it gives us a dollar and it shows us that, you know, maybe there's a reason to kind of buy showing up if we're going to hold structure, if we're going to kind of consolidate, or maybe just reason to not participate anymore if we're going to sideways chop against this position. Another thing I want to point out is the Nasdaq and the ES. We kind of talked about the beta a little bit earlier. Prior 15-minute candle was red. We did pull back a little bit, but take a look at this one. This candle has how much time left to print? It's about 8 minutes left to print, and the buyers are stepping in pretty aggressively once again. So I have to respect that piece of information as well. So yeah, we'll see. Where's the next trade? I know a lot of people are trading some of these I guess Oklo. I want to see what Oklo's up to. Oklo, I did have eyes on. Again, bit of a miss on my part, man. That was not the best here on OKLO. This was a pre-market breakout, pre-market high breakout, all-time high breakout, prior day high breakout, whatever you want to call it. A bunch of buyers, definitely a lot of participants coming together at some of those prices, and doesn't really look back below that 161 mark. So I got to do a little bit better with getting that one. It was crazy, man. I know I said this earlier, but Friday, the market was tanking. Oh, yeah. Oklo, it did not care.
It didn't care.
It didn't care.
The materials.
So those are the nuances that I'm realizing. I'm like, yo, you got to remember that. You got to remember that if something was acting distinctly different from the rest of the market,
100%.
Like, I got to keep eyes on. And today coming in, gaps up.
Yep.
The whole market, what is it doing? Just straight chop, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at Palantir, I'm looking at QS, I'm looking at some of these other ones. I'm glad I got out of Palantir because 177 is ripping heads off right now, so that's fine. But yeah, no, it was crazy. Oklo was the one off of the open that gave, I would say, A+.
Oh yeah.
A+ maybe pushing it. B+ for sure. B+ for sure. just because of that disconnect, that decorrelation from the market that we had, and we saw distinctly on Friday, and we saw more of that strength coming in the pre-market today. But you know what? It's all easy to talk about in retrospect. I got to do better at taking it real time.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
GWH and STI are both halted, guys. They're both up big. So GWH is the one we were latest involved in, 188%. It's halted now at 1201. It's showing me, well, it's a New York stock, right? So we don't know what the theoretical auction price is. Only on the Nasdaq stocks we'll be able to know. Case in point, this one right here, NQ. So we're halted at 2283. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate that. And now we're showing a tap of 2287. So we're up nicely. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I had some sushi yesterday. Yeah, I smashed some sushi yesterday. Yeah.
Nice. This is looking,
yeah, these look fantastic. Is that tuna, Raymond? On the top? Tuna and salmon. And eel?
And
Eel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You want like a good electrocution every time and again.
For the show, for you guys.
Well,
Let's
of
see.
course, bro.
All right, you go.
We're gonna do one dip each.
The jalapeno. Okay, you want to do that one first?
All right, we're gonna do that one. We're gonna
dip,
do a
no
live.
double dipping?
No doubles.
Okay, all right. Wasabi?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, that's pretty good.
A little bit of soy sauce. A little bit of soy sauce. Can't get too.
Where's
too
this one
salty.
from, Ram? Okay. Monkey sushi? I went monkey sushi. My bad.
I mean, that sushi hit you harder than it hit me.
It came out involuntarily. I apologize.
Understandable.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Market's
All right,
putting up
guys.
right now.
We're having a good time.
See, I've been kind of munching on this.
What do you got?
Funny enough.
Oh.
So I know you love eggs. I've been kind of munching on this. So it's kind of a Japanese style egg sandwich with Japanese milk
It looks
bread.
fantastic, oh.
They do it absolutely amazingly. So it's a lobster and egg sandwich, and with some hollandaise sauce. Absolutely beautiful.
Guys, GWH open.
Oh boy.
Here we
go. Yeah, there you go.
1250 high. Do we get continuation, man? Here we go again. 1250 just got touched. Seller at 1250, down 1188. Mid 80s holding, mid 80s holding. Here we go again, dropping back down into 12. Do we test the mid 80s again? No. We're not losing 12 this time around. Watching. So 12 generally is being held here by buyers. It's not a specific level, it's a zone. That 12 zone is being bought up for a possible move in, and you guessed it, 13. Let's see what else we get. I need to watch for a little bit here. At that, okay, now we got a $0.25 buyer stepping in, dipping down into the teens. That $0.25 buyer stepping in again as we ascend back into 12.25. So good strength here for GWH, and there's the breakout into 1295. What a move for GWH, guys. 1295 high. We're basically at 13 bucks. Watch out for resistance, of course, at the whole dollar. Mid-90s. Oh, wow. 1340. This is parabolic right now. GWH. All sorts of insane. I saw a quick halt parameter show up there at the $0.50. I don't know if it was a seller or the halt parameter. It is the halt parameter at 49s. 49s is the halt level, at least for now. Let's watch. There it is again. Halt parameter again at 49s. Let's watch. We need to do this for 10 seconds. False halt. Boom, in the 87 OB. Oh, man, this is insane. Warrants finally getting eyes, says Darwin. Shout out to the OG Darwin, who always takes these bad boys through warrants. Make sure to check in with him about what his strategy is before employing that. So I'm going to continue to watch here with GWH monster topping tail coming in right now. 1387 high. We're dropping down in the 1260s. We're $1.20 south now of that area high, but we do have a good area of support at 11 bucks, assuming, of course, it loses 12. I'll be packing my patience on this one. Good strength. And there's STI, unhalted as well, 2283. This one's a New York stock, Nasdaq stock, excuse me, so you won't fly blind on this one. 2283 high, dropping down into 22s. This one's much wider of a spread than the others. It's 20 pennies right now. I've seen it wider. Trade these carefully, guys. I'm going to keep my eye on this one, as well as EBLM, which also was attempting another move into 6.5, but was thwarted by the sellers. There's STI. STI into 23.95, essentially 24. There's 24.21. Oh, it's pandemonium today in small cap gapper world. We're going to keep an eye on this one. We'll look to execute at some good levels. What do you got on your side, Ob?
Just watching that Palantir, I'm like, all right, you know what? Even though, funny enough, because of the sizing and because of the aggressiveness, I am back up on it on this trade, but glad to not be in the short anymore. As again, it's showing me what I don't want to see. Market is strong. It's holding structure. It's reclaimed VWAP. Buyers are stepping in pretty aggressively. We got some shake and bake here. So yeah, maybe a change of character when it started doing those wipes, and then you start the bid kind of starts to confirm. I'm like, all right, I don't want to fight that. You know what? Market kind of gave me an opportunity. I took it. I'm waiting for the next one. But there is something unusual going on here. I am looking at some of the stocks in my basket, and we kind of covered ARM earlier. Would you take a look at this one, Sharif? This one, a grinding bid, dude. Oh. This thing can't stop, won't stop.
Wow.
Right? Like, it's absolutely crazy. This buyer has been there, and I'm sure if you throw up a moving average or anything like that, take a look at this. How clean is that? Doesn't even. I'm sure you throw up a moving average, dude. This is all the way from one. Look, you don't even have to get involved here. Look at this breakout of an attempt at opening range high when it holds above VWAP. 161s, 162s. I think this is a good area, and even this one, because by then you have trend defined and it's holding buyers. So anywhere between 161s, 161 halves and 162s, 163s. This thing, the buyer steps right back in and grinding all the way up. 171s is the day high.
Unreal.
170.97. $10 move on something that has done so far 4.63 million shares. Absolutely crazy, man. I'm talking about some of the extensions and some of the legs in this market, like absolutely crazy, right? It's just so directional. When they get directional, it's just directional. So it's just like, how do we do better at getting with the program? Literally, because there's a buyer on the tape. ARM has a grinding buyer. Every time it pulls into some moving average, I don't know what it is, whatever the definition of this trend is, it's moving in, and yeah, that's something that I do want to watch out for on ARM as of right now.
All right, Ob. Each year, sadly, more than 3.8 million concussions are reported in the United States, yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Orgenix, ticker OGEN, is changing all that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenix is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Shout out to Ogen. All right, guys. I saw him in there. I saw him. Live chat. Big Spile Burdette has graced us with his presence.
Boom.
Sharif, be interesting to see what happens when the bond market is open. Yeah, Look, Big Spile, you're absolutely right. But, you know, we've seen this before, right? When we get these black swan events that are kind of short-lived. And by short, obviously, it's not a technical term, but there's no exact definition that I have. But, you know, the market quickly corrects and moves along its merry way. So we'll see, Big Spile. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased one way or another with how this all pans out. But, you know, I'm going to be buying good companies at good prices. Let's just put it that way. And I tried to add some stuff yesterday into the long term. I still think I have some time, given my cost basis, to get into some of my longer-term parlays. But, yeah, you're great point, brother. Great point. Bond market not open today. We'll have to see how it goes. But you know how the market generally is, equity markets at all. Their discounting mechanisms are forward-looking, and we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, you bring up a great point today. The bond market not open. Chris says, DFLI, former runner. Let's have a look. You're not the first person to mention that. The thing I was just trying to focus on right now is GWH for a $12 hold, but it's not really holding at the moment. Yeah, there's DFLI. It's not my favorite name on the day. I see it's up 22.86%. No doubt about that. It's right at the pre-market highs from, at prior day's pre-market highs. So Friday's pre-market highs, 1010, comes into that 137 area. Certainly could be interesting. It's not a big volume mover either. What the hell is going on? This thing's got 28 million shares? Because it's a dollar name. Yeah, all right, good look. DFLI, if you're interested in that kind of thing, jump right on in. It's not a bad look at all, certainly. I don't mean to make light of that. It looks great, quite frankly, but just not big in terms of notional. I want to point out SOAR as well, because this one is kind of stair-stepping up, very similar to DFLI, and they haven't done that much volume on the day. This one's about much less, actually, I should say. DFLI has done a lot more. This one's got about 3 million shares, but it looks to be testing that $3 area again. Could be an interesting look, but it's really GWH in this little dalliance it's having with that $12 area. So it's got a lower high and a lower low on the current 5-minute chart, right? So the prior candle is a topping tail candle. That's at 1255 candle with a 1387 high and an 1175 low. This current candle, which is the 1 o'clock candle, has a 1242 high and an 1160 low. So if you're looking to ride trend here and hold $11, put your stop at prior bar low, which is 60, but you get stopped out probably if this loses. We're at 61, 62. Looks like it's holding for the moment. I'd rather just wait for this one to start showing me higher highs and higher lows, and that typically means a worse price, but I'm okay with that. But this one is not giving you any opportunity to stop. STI is absolutely exploding. It's up 355% now. It's blowing through $25. It's a 25.25 area high. Wow, the strength on this is insane. And the spread now, because there's more volume, has tightened up a little bit. It's not as bad. It's 25.60 area high now as it drops back down into 25. This one's been a real clean buy off the 10 EMA, but it is getting quite extended now away from that 10 EMA. The 10 EMA is showing me 21.50. Current price is 25. So yeah, we're really getting away from that price, which could mean a bit of a mean reversion back, yes, you guessed it, to the mean, right? So we'll see what this one has to offer, but it's already up 350% and very strong on the day. So that's a look there in the STI world. Yeah, just let's go through maybe some general market stuff right now, Assassino. I'm going to take just a quick break to go through some of this. Let's look at the ES. Yeah, we can show this. The ES, so the market's recovering nicely today, obviously not up as much as we were down on Friday, but the ES back above 6,700. Likewise with the NQ knocking on the door now of 25,000 again. The NQ and the Russell are the two best performing major averages on the day. More than 2.25 now for the NQ, and 2 2/3, wow, for the Russell 2000, with silver up 6 2/3% as silver now takes out $50. That is the continuous contract for SI. Gold as well, above 4,100. Gold continuing to fly, 3% for the precious metal today. And I didn't mention the Dow. The Dow's up a little bit less than 1.5, but above 46,300 in terms of the Mag 7. Who's leading the way? Well, it's a little bit of Nvidia and a little bit of Tesla. They're both up 3% on the day. Tesla currently leading up 3 3/4, but Nvidia, the $4.7 trillion market cap, or at least it was on Friday, 4.6 right now, definitely having itself a good day. Meta, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft are all up except the Flakes. The Flakes is negative on the day. As you know, the Flakes is having a hard time riding trend there ever since that whole cancel push started happening, as you guys know, on X. But I want to say the best performing microchip name on the day has got to be between ARM, as Obi was showing you, up 10.43, and of course Broadcom up 10 1/3 on the back of that headline today with OpenAI to create custom silicon. I think it was a $5 billion deal or something like that, which is a fantastic look. Nothing I'm surprised about. We've seen Sam Altman hedge his bets with everybody, except Intel, of course. Still yet to make a deal with Intel. We'll see if Sam Altman and company can strike a deal with the U.S. chip maker. But now, in case you're keeping track, he struck a deal with Nvidia, AMD, and now Broadcom. As we know, Broadcom is sort of that go-to semiconductor manufacturer that you look to create your custom silicon. So you design it in-house, and you say, hey, Broadcom, can you make this for me? They find out the manufacturing process. They typically outsource it to TSMC or whoever. But that's kind of the move, and we've seen this over and over with these hyperscalers going to Broadcom and saying, hey, help us create our custom silicon, whether it's the TPU or the Trainium, with Google and Amazon as well. So some food for thought there. Let's go down the semis and see who else is near double-digit territory today. Taiwan freaking semi. All the way up here, up over 8%. What a great day from Taiwan Semi. And then who else, man? Who else we got on semiconductor, up almost 8.8%. Another fantastic name on the day. Moving down here, in case you were hiding under a rock somewhere, Bloom Energy, up 30% today on the back of a headline that they've struck a deal, of course. Who was it who they struck a deal with for $5 billion? Announces infrastructure. It's so stupid.
I mean, it could be a deal with Mickey Mouse at this.
It doesn't really matter,
it
does
really
it?
doesn't matter. This price action is off the charts. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
These crazy moves. Like, we talk about the market being frothy. Like, this is definitely like we're
absolutely
tasting a little bit of froth. And look, I don't know if you've been following like some certain traders in the Twitterverse. A lot of these guys talking about and comparing it to like the .com, some of these breakouts, some of the crazy legs and extensions, and some of them even being like, okay, we haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
So they're still on the come up, and I'm just like, oh boy,
you know
absolutely
what?
crazy. Like we
When
could
I hear
continue
that,
to kind of push into the end of the year. I don't know.
And I'm not trying to argue with those guys with respect to price action, because they saw something I didn't see. I never traded around that .com bubble. But you know what makes me feel that it might be a little bit of a different story this time? Those companies at the time, God bless them, they ended up doing well in 15 years or something. But they didn't have actual revenues at that time. They didn't. They were speculative plays, right? But the Mag 7 actually have eye-watering revenue, you know what I mean? And so I feel like, when we try to draw parallels between now and the .com
but here's the thing. I'm talking about, sure, the Mag 7s are very solid, right? But I mean, I don't really follow PEs, but their PEs are kind of,
they're huge.
They're huge. Yeah. But for example, I want to use some of the quantum companies. For example.
I agree.
That's what
100%,
a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
They're getting I saw this little clip on with Bezos talking about it as well. Mm-hmm. These companies, they don't make more money than like I saw a funny post. I forget who it was from, but they were like, some of these companies don't even make more money than a single Starbucks location.
Yeah.
And they're getting $1 billion of valuations. They're getting $1 billion fundings.
Right.
Like talk about like absolutely crazy, and that's kind of. Like, yeah, okay, for sure, the mags are not there, but we do have themes going on. I think Andre trying to tell me something. What's going on? But okay, yeah, I can do that in a second once I pull it up. But
I can take over.
Yeah, no, I think it's something to think about. Something to think about for sure.
I completely agree. When you bring up the quantum angle, I gotta agree with that, because. Similar. I mean, look, it's going to be a very disruptive technology if they can get it right. But right now, like, we look at some of these contracts, I mean, they're like 10, 15, $20 million contracts. And I'm not trying to belittle that, but that's nothing in the grand scheme of things when we're talking about these billion, tens, hundreds of $1 billion deals with these AI players in the actual, what's it called? High-end computing space. So I completely agree with you there, brother. We'll see how that goes. Thank you, Raymer, for that. What's going on here?
Right.
Oh yeah, me?
What's that?
How do I do that? What do I do?
Speak to touch. Speak to.
Oh. Hello, Andre.
Oh, can you talk back to us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andre, speak.
Oh, hello, Assassino.
This is what I use.
Hey, hello, I like it.
That's
Thank
solid,
you, brother, because I don't know what's going on with my headset today, but something's afoot, so I can't hear production team. Thank you, Andre, for that. I do appreciate it. Life's interpretation, can we talk about PayPal? Yeah, let's have a look at PayPal, man.
Let's run through some business real quick. And
sure,
then,
go ahead.
We'll go through some PayPal.
Yep.
So guys, woman boss. In Africa, a new generation of leaders is rising. The woman boss empowers them. We provide the training and mentorship to women and girls who need to start businesses, create change, and build sustainable futures. We've already impacted over 10,000 lives, and your contribution creates the next opportunity. So scan the QR code now and empower the next woman leader today. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, of course not.
Yeah, what's going on with that PayPal, man? I was watching that. I actually traded a little bit of it last week, as it was kind of jumping around doing some things. But A little sideways chop though.
A little bit.
I did trade it,
yeah.
But after that first couple of days, it kind of just like fell back in, I think. But yeah, good look. I like what it's doing.
Your assessment of sideways chop, I couldn't echo more. You know what immediately gets my suspicions going, Ob? When I start seeing umpteen amount of crossovers like that, I know that we're in that consolidative phase, and the technicals are I'm gonna have to be super careful with how I interpret technicals at this level. And here's what I mean. We used to talk about this a lot when we did the lessons of the day, but when you're in a consolidative phase where you're kind of trading within a range, the technicals, and in this case I'm talking about moving averages specifically, are all but useless because you're going to get all these false signals, the golden cross, the death cross, and it seems to happen over and over and over. So you end up getting chopped. And so what I mean to say is these mechanical following systems that buy, you know, when a trend line is broken and sell, or when it's breached and then sell when it's broken, are useless in these consolidative phases. And the way I see the price action on eBay, or sorry, PayPal, that used to be joined, is very much that it has been consolidative. And I want to say it goes all the way back to the spring, late or summer of 2022 when we got into this $100 high and we have this basically $62 low. We drop a little below that, but look at that latest attempt. We got into $95 area high and we dropped into a $55 low. So look at this over here as well. Golden cross, death cross, golden cross, death cross, and here we again, golden cross, and here comes a death cross again, all but useless. So in these cases, I like to pick it up if you're going to trade or buy or invest in eBay or whatever, or again, man, PayPal, sorry, not eBay. I'd be buying at the lower end of the range. By definition, I'd have a stop, I'd have a resting buy order. Let's just say maybe around 60, right around that, what's it called? Tariff tantrum area low. If you're looking at more local areas of support, certainly 65, and I could get behind that as a level as well, given that it was a very obvious level of resistance in the earlier part of 2024 until we retook it finally in August of 2024. 64.70 had been a very obvious area. So to me, you're buying at the low end, you're looking for continuation, but quite frankly, this is a 2-year range for me where it just hasn't done enough for me. So I hate to put it so crudely, but that is not what I'm after there in terms of an investment or a swing trade. So that's what I'm looking at. All right, guys, let's talk about some of the names that we had on the day. STI is down halted over here at 2168, which is okay, because look exactly where it's down halted at. Yeah, it's straddling that 10 EMA on the 5, but for the first time in, like, I think quite a while, it's made a lower low, and it's closed at the area low. So STI could be a buy. We'll wait. It's up 294%. What's the tap say? Well, the tap is showing 2130, having halted at 2168. So we're already about 30 pennies lower. But look at that. It just adjusted to 60, 62 now. So keep your eye on the tap as we got a lot closer to the opening time. The earliest this one will be open is 1:20 and 46 seconds, having halted at 1:15.46. Keep an eye on the theoretical auction price. This one you'll be able to see because it trades on the Nasdaq. Whereas if you're trading on the NYSE or the MX network, you're not going to be able to see the tap. AQMS is losing the bid, okay? It just broke below VWAP, so this one could lose its spot on the side chart, and it would be no longer tradable under my long-only small cap system if it loses this area over here, which is around 9 2/3 to 9 3/4, because that would break trend, and that would make a lower low in addition to the lower highs. So that should be a cause for concern for anybody holding this long. Last but not least, GWH at that critical $11 area again, which is now the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. Are we going to get a hold up here, or are we destined to head back to 10? It's an ugly, ugly topping tail candle on the 5, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row into the 5 on the 5-minute chart. But what's most important for me is a fail of that $11 level. If it fails below that level, it's no longer of interest to me until it gets to about 8. Possibly if it holds 11 though, that would make it very interesting to me, given that that was a price action resistance level, and now it's conflating with the indicator support level, the 10 EMA on the 5, which is right around 11. So that's what I'm watching for. A loss of 11, a decisive loss of 11, doesn't get me interested again until about $8 on this one, Ope.
Nice, good look there. I like the way you talk about the price action on some of these, man. I mean, you're getting me a little a little interested in some of that stuff. I see that.
You
wipe
see
up
what some
13.
of these guys are doing online. Let's just cut the crap.
Oh, yeah,
we know
sure,
exactly what they're doing and
sure.
what kind of size they're taking, right? Like, yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the pump game a little bit, I guess. But. There's a certain individual on YouTube that I know you like him, but here's the thing: great value. Because here's the thing, man. The dude has made $10,000 in a day, $30,000.
I love his little thumbnails on the video there. You know exactly what we're talking about.
We'll call him Floss Mamarin. So this guy. Who kind of shows up and does some stuff. It's interesting. I think there is value to learn there. It really depends. I truly believe in.
I think some of the
statement where value is there for those who truly seek it.
Yeah.
So not necessarily copy trading or whatever, but learn what's happening. Learn the mechanics, try to be okay, well, is this Fugazi? Yeah, in a sense, maybe, perhaps, and know that some of these small cap movers move just like that. So how can you kind of translate that into actual tape?
Well, there you go.
You can see maybe large orders come in and then a flurry of chasers coming in after. Right? How do you quantify some of that behavior that you're seeing? And then where can you apply that on the chart and in your trading as well, right? It's okay, there's something to learn from everywhere, right? Like I say, what not to do, what you want to do. That's always there. And I think we do that well here. We take trades, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, and it's up to you to really reverse engineer some of those ideas and be all right, what was the thought process behind this? What can I learn from this? And how can I kind of extract information so I can apply it to my own trading and my own knowledge if it's any sort of a benefit for me. So I think that's always a good perspective to have. A lot of people just want to get, they want to make a quick buck and they're just oh, this guy's doing this, I'm going to follow along. But guess what? We saw a lot of that happen here on the floor. I don't know if you remember. There was a lot of people on the floor.
Okay.
And they were given fish. Right? They were given fish. How many people are left on the floor? 0. So if you were given fish and you've never been taught how to fish,
well said, man.
your longevity is absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's you want to have the learning mindset. You want to
say something too?
I want to learn how to fish. Who cares what fish? If someone hands you a fish, that's great. You eat it for a day. You trying to eat for life? You better learn how to do the.
And I notice a lot of people, even though they understand the setup, they don't have the belief in the setup. Can I say one thing to you? Before I went to school, I did PT, I did personal training. Nice. Some of personal training, as you know, is sales. You got to be able to sell, right? The gym is not selling for you.
Exactly.
And so it's expensive, Obe. It's like $80 a session. That was back then too. I don't know what it is now.
It's a lot more.
It's more now, right? So you're selling these packages for 10, 20, and they're paying multiple thousands of dollars. Yeah. And so I was very inexperienced at selling. And so it always made me embarrassed at the end of the consultation to ask for $5,000, $7,000 because I felt that was such a huge sum of money. Maybe I felt I wasn't worth it. And you know what my fitness manager told me at the time? He's like, if you don't believe you're worth that money and you don't sell it convincingly to them, they're not going to buy it, brother. Of course, yeah. Right? And I feel 100%. That the same transferable skills, not sales, but belief in what you're doing. Yes. If I show you how to set up something, which what they were doing with us on the floor, they were giving us certain trades, but if we didn't have the conviction, the mental conviction behind those trades, we would not size in. Exactly. Right? And so you didn't have the mental conviction behind the trade. So I felt like that was the main thing. I have to believe that this system works. Not just that somebody told me.
But that's the thing.
You know what I mean? I have to see it.
Of course.
Because you have to execute.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we talked about this I remember having a really good conversation with Wayne on this as well. It's just okay, you're not going to get confidence unless you actually win. Once you start winning, then you start building that confidence and being like, all right, this trade actually works.
Funny.
Next time, you take more. Next time, you take more. Now, there are certain proprietary trades that we take, and it's just like, now it's just like, all right, we've taken this trade so many times, so it's not even about how much, like, the size is not necessarily the thing. If it's too set up, then I'm throwing everything I have at it. Everything I have at it. There's no, like, you develop a sense of trust in your stats, in your ability to execute, and throughout that, you gain that ability to size as well.
Bang.
And I think that's huge. But yeah, no, I wanted to say one more thing on that point, to kind of carry forward what you were saying, but I kind of lost the trail.
Train of thought there, yeah.
Train of thought, yeah. So. No, I think that's very, very important. You got to be aware, and you have to kind of assess some of those things as well. But
life's interpretation, yes, you're absolutely right. That's what my system is based off. Okay, so you're bang on. If you're looking at what I'm referring to, you can look at life's interpretations comment in the chat. So here's the deal, guys. I'm continuing to watch over here as GWH gets bought up. Now, it did dip into that 10.5, which is the 20 EMA. It's putting a very, very inverse bottoming tail, inverse hammer candle, bottoming tail, albeit still red candle right now. I'm looking for continuation here, back above 11. But guess what? I don't get back in until we make the first 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis. We're above 11, and we've got a green candle at the moment with a nice, with a perfect area buy around that 10.5, which is the 20 EMA. But I'm gonna wait until that 11.5, which is the prior candle. I'm talking about the 115 candle on the 5-minute chart, has a high of 1147. So if we can get back above 1150, I'm a buyer. Until then, I'm not a buyer. I'm gonna pack my patience. Life's interpretation, hangry wife, that's a fact. Obi Sharif, are you talking about following up lessons with study? I learn how to fish from these guys every day and seek out my own resources to learn best channel. Thank you, brother. Yes, it's exactly what I'm saying. Because, you know, if you watch Obi punch in, you watch me punch in, well, we're the ones with the conviction, right? You got to have the conviction, though, because at the end of the day, you're going to be choosing where to put the stop, how much size you're going to be taking, and most importantly of all, you're going to hit that enter button, right? And nobody's going to be there sometimes for the trade. So you're going to have, you know, that internal belief in it. And I wish you all the best, brother. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining us, obviously. And thanks for trading these small caps, man. The more traders that trade these small caps, the happier I am because I have more eyes on the market. Shout out to Howard. Hey, shout out to Howard dropping $2. My worst trade always came after my best trade, FYI. I wonder why that is, Howard. Are you flying high on confidence, which maybe blurs a little bit of the risk to reward kind of risk management? Why is that? Why do you think that happens, Howard? And don't have to super chat again. Just tag myself or Obi in the chat. I'd love to read out your comment. Buvin is saying XCH is moving up, and there's a break of 50s on the horizon over here. So let's take a quick look. Let's flip to the 5 and look at XCH. Yes. Oh, that's a good look, Buvin, with about 7.5 million shares traded. And look at that, the volume stepping in now. You're getting a good volume spike here midday at around 130. Say less, my man. We're going to take off AQMS as that lost the bid, and we're going to put XCH. This is another Buvin Patel special. Now, here's the deal, Buvin. Let's look at this 145 area here. I want to say 140 to 145 on XCH. Why do I say that? Because you have multiple topping tails into that level from earlier on. And so clearly it's a level of resistance. What I want to know now, if it's cleared as a level of resistance, will it now act as a level of support? Right now, this current 5-minute candle has the $0.50 holding as support, but it could give way, and I could be a buyer here at 145 to 140. Does this have a headline? No, but typically they don't anyway. It's got, as I mentioned, 7.75 million shares traded on the day, and it's up, wow, 85% XCH, having closed out OB at around 82 pennies out on Friday, gaps up today, and then all hell breaks loose after the bell at around 9:50 when the bid really started coming in fast and furious. Then there was a lull, right? It did bupkis, comes back down, holds at 115. There's an accumulation zone happening there, an attempt through VWAP, a failed attempt through VWAP, but maybe this is what tipped the scales. When you failed attempt through that volume weighted average price, you don't go back into that 115 level. You made higher highs, 117, 118, and that's kind of what gave the buyers juice. And maybe this is why we're taking off here. 166 area high, Bhavin. It holds 150 like a glove. Calling out Bhavin Patel, the OG, always calling these ones out. That's why I want more of you guys trading the small caps so that I can have more Bhavin Patels in the chat. Keeping an eye on the scanners, seeing what's breaking out right now, because this is a good one, Bhavin. 173 high, we're at the high of the day right now. I'm going to be looking to weasel in here some way, somehow, Ob.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gotta find some trades to weasel into. That's what I'm looking for as well, man.
Shout out to Mike.
PD right up. Seems like this is a lot of chop. Like Tesla, oh boy, like Tesla, as great as it was in Blue Ocean, along with the rest of its buddy friends there. Tesla here, as of right now, kind of a chop, man. It's not really doing anything too crazy. So 420s, just holding 420s pretty well. So I guess maybe that's something. But a bit of a gap up and a hold of some of these pre-market prices is what I'm seeing right now, grinding to some fresh highs. Sellers came in aggressively 440, so that's what I'll be watching there on that one. Palantir just chopping that 177. So like I said, not really getting involved with anything because I don't see anything. But maybe TSM, we just talked about it, about how strong,
I just have to interrupt.
What's going on?
The Trump press conference is now over. They've kicked out the media. So there was a whole bunch of, I'm assuming, as you know, world leaders because of the situation developing in the Middle East. So everybody was there. It was a joint press conference from what I was seeing with Keir Starmer, you know, obviously Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister Carney as well of Canada. So that is done. So we'll look for some market reactions now. I don't know. I wasn't following the press conference, but I want to bring that to your attention since Sidera is not at the big desk. Sorry to interrupt you, Obi. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. We were just talking about the floor. I'm not gonna share this, but funny enough, we were literally just talking about the floor, and one of our friends shared this photo.
I love this,
and that's like everybody,
I'll never
right?
forget that.
So it's just like, yeah,
you see Spencer's stash now?
Yeah.
You see Spencer's stash?
I saw Spencer recently. I saw him at Yanni's birthday party.
Oh, it is nice.
Nice. But yeah, no, I don't remember.
He's got one, because I messaged him yesterday.
Yeah,
like, stash?
Does he have one? Yeah.
It looks solid, too, dude.
Yeah, no, solid.
Shout out to
Spencer,
Spencer, man.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Can you click that again, man?
Seeing the boys
names. You're not going to show
Yeah. No. There's too many people. I don't have their permission, but yeah.
There's Jacob. Look at Aaron, the
squad.
machine gun.
Yeah, machine gun.
The
sneeze.
machine gun.
I don't know if you guys
sneezing,
remember
bro.
this guy would sneeze back to back, boom, 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 boom. We just known for the machine gun sneeze. So like we would try to time it. So we all sat in the same row.
Yes.
We were all part of the same class, right? It was me, Wayne, Aaron, Raj, and I think there was a couple other guys that they left way too early that I don't even remember.
I remember there was like a Persian guy.
Yeah, there was a Persian. That guy was absolutely.
Reza, what was his name?
Yeah, he was an interesting character.
But he fell asleep during the meeting. He pissed off Greg.
Oh no, that's that was
a different guy.
No, he used to fall asleep during meetings as well.
That's what I'm saying. Greg was like, yo, you
guy.
can't fall asleep during the meetings, bro.
There was a different guy, absolutely hilarious. So Branko's in the meeting, right? Branko's like talking, whatever. This guy's literally falling asleep. We know, everyone's aware. We're like, all right, we're not gonna really do anything. And then all of a sudden he snaps awake. And then he starts arguing with Brankles about what he just kind of talked about.
About what?
I don't know what it was. I'm like, yo, dude, like what? And then, now you know Brankles.
Yeah, he's not gonna put up with that, bro.
He's not gonna.
No.
Oh, there was some yelling that happened in that room.
We gotta cover this, because we're breaking out right now on XCH. Here we go. We just took the 70 break into 85. 5. That is the high of the day. So we get the top right there. Sorry to interrupt, though, but it's just what was breaking out. I got to tell everybody, XCH, another Bhavin Patel special. Bhavin, you're gonna have to start paying me over here, brother, because I'm shouting you out so much. I'm sure you can start your own service by now, Bhavin, given the amount of times we're shouting you out on here. But well deserved, my friend. It wouldn't be that way if it wasn't deserved, right? Because you're calling out winners. Shout out to the Bhavin Patel special gang. We're gonna put that. Clip that, baby. So here we go, guys. 185 high. We're showing 79s right now. There's a seller generally at 80s, so keep your eye out on this one. It could be a squeeze into 2. I don't know how you feel about this one, Bhavin. Dropping back down. Current bar low is about 155. We're showing 75. Current bar high is 85. So you got 30 pennies worth of range on this bad boy here. Keep your eye on it. We'll keep tabs on it. And I want to also let you know STI is coming back possibly here from the bowels of you know where, and it wants to take out $22. So if it does that, that'll be the first 5-minute candle will make a new high, and that will probably push in a lot of longs. And here we go, 21.5. We are close to 22, but I'm going to need to see that 22 break and take on a decisive closing basis, as opposed to just a quick how do you do wick. That's not going to cut it for me there. So we'll be looking at that. And while we're looking at that, let's look at this. Here we go again with XCH into the area high, showing 85s. Let's go ahead and see if we can take out some there at the area high. We're going to wait at 88s, see if we can get something. Seller at 84, 85 keeps coming in as an area high. There it is. We take out the seller at 85 and we get the 88 print. Let's go ahead and wait now a little bit higher than that. Oh, what's going on? XCH. The boys of summer are back, baby. I don't mean the Blue Jays. Hopefully they will be back tonight, though. All right, XCH losing the bid a little bit here, 194 break and take, and now we're down into 170s. Let's keep an eye on this one. I'm looking for continuation.
Break and take and some shake and bake. That's what I'm looking for here. And a lot of shake and bake is definitely happening across the board. That's why I'm not really involved in anything. People in the chat be like, oh, why are you not trading anything? Guess what?
What?
Sharif's trading the stuff that's actually moving around. My stuff is not moving around. The stuff I look at normally, it's not really doing too much. So I'm not really, I'm watching Sharif. I'm enjoying the commentary and that price action, man. I'm learning. I'm like, oh boy, like you can definitely like what I'm seeing from your entries and exits is just like when these things get going, they just go.
Yes, sir.
And then you're taking those breaks, you're taking the pushes, and it just instantly just goes.
Straight.
So it's just that's absolutely solid there. I'm liking the scalps on those, but
appreciate you.
ARM. I'm watching ARM. I'm stalking my prey as well. Right? I'm stalking my prey. I'm hunting, and I don't really see anything too crazy. But here's the thing: I'm stalking this ARM to see if that can potentially come in. We've had an aggressive bid. You guys know me. I'm looking for the potential reversion. Only buyers in charge all day today. But you can see there's a lot of stocks that are exhibiting similar behavior. Take a look at QBTS. Okay, I didn't even know there was a QBTX. I just typed that in.
Inverse. Is it inverse or leverage?
It's a 2x long. Oh my God.
Yeah,
wow,
boy.
Look at this thing. Hello. Hello. Okay, you know what? You learn something new every day. I didn't even know there was a QBTX. All right, that's good to know. QBTS is the one I'm looking at. And that thing is looking very similar right here. 41 halves. Can't stop, won't stop. Only buyers on this one. Yeah, talk about a little bit of a squeeze. Across the board in this sector, definitely coming in real hot here. No real selling throughout the day. Maybe a little bit of a pullback here off of 37s and some change all the way down to 36s. Nice little push up. But yeah, absolutely crazy. QBTS just got a massive volume injection. Yeah, right there. Take a look. Would you look at that? At 109 here on the 3-minute chart, we got an aggressive volume bar, which overshadows the opening print, which overshadows that. This candle, whatever this was, 10, 12, that's probably a technical breakout level here. There you go, prior day high and maybe the week high, no, Thursday high, and then prior Friday high as well on QBTS. So technical breakout off of some of prior day levels happening. Beautiful follow through. We know the sector has got pretty much caught on fire. So we'll see. Hangry Wife saying, are you waiting on ARM reversion? Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm going to wait. I'm being patient, and it might not even set up as a good reversion, right? It's just because it has a bid doesn't mean as soon as that bid is gone, it's going to revert. It could go sideways. It could just slow down, and that angle of ascent can just just calm down a little bit. It doesn't have to be as sharp, right? There's different ways the bid can dissipate, and there's only specific kinds of bid dissipations that I want to get involved with, if that makes sense. So let's see. Lee saying, take this from a hunter. Sometimes when you're out hunting for deer, you take the coyote, make some trades. Man, yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I've been doing. I took the Palantir. Palantir wasn't that crazy. I was like a bit of a C that maybe turned into like a bit of a higher C+. Took that off, but look at that. It's straight chop. Another one this morning was QS. QS just fell into my lap. I was like, oh boy, this is a high probability piece, reversion back down into VWAP, and I just took that piece off, but didn't plan for it, wasn't sized effectively for it because it's not like a top setup. Right? So where's the next trade? Have I only traded 2 things today? Yeah, I guess. 2 things, yeah, exactly. So those 2 names, Palantir and QS, is what I've been involved in. But I'm watching other things like ARM, like, I guess, continuing to watch Palantir. Intel didn't really do too much today that I was looking for, but things that are distinctly different. Oh. Right? Things that are distinctly different. When it comes to distinct difference, QBTS, some of these quantum names. ARM, some of these chip-related names that may also be quantum-related. Right? So those are the ones that are really running right now. So I'm going to be patient. See, this is what I mean. A wipe back up on 176 halves all the way up to 177s and some change. So almost a $1 wipe on this Palantir. So I don't necessarily want to be involved with this. Whoa, what was that?
What happened?
That was a nasty wick candle.
That real?
I tripped out. No. That's definitely a dark print. I'm like, no way, we just did.
I gotta love those.
They always make my heart jump a little bit.
And they don't ever disrupt the analysis on the charting ever. They never get in the way.
They definitely do. You should
ever,
see the
Joey.
wicks on the
Ever.
That's why I got the same stock, but like 3 different charts open usually, because then I'll be like, if one of them messes up, I got a check ready to go, being like, was that real? And yeah, that was not real. So I was like, whoa. But it's funny because in this market, something like that is well within range. We've seen it happen.
Well, exactly.
A straight wipe. I'm like, oh my god, news.
So you don't know.
I don't know.
You're
but then
unsure.
We see the wick happen instantly, so it's just like a quick mini heart attack.
Yeah. After what I saw on Friday, I mean,
those are dark pool wicks. Hangry Wife asking what's happening, what's going on. So
you want to explain what dark pool is just for the newer traders out there?
So there's dark liquidity in the book, and we can just look at it here. So let's see, Palantir. So you can see on the tape all of these different letters. Now I know it's really small, but you can see here it says market, and you can see all the different letters. Different letters are different gates, and then there's ones that are just Ds. You can see those Ds. Those are all dark pool. That's volume that's moving through the dark pools. So any sort of dark liquidity doesn't necessarily show up on the book.
Exactly.
Now, sometimes dark liquidity can be transacted in real time. Sometimes it's older orders that may have happened, earlier today, or maybe earlier on in the week, and that price was never really kind of displayed on the tape, so it just shows up as a passing kind of a thing on a dark pool. It's not really kind of traded. So what happens in our system? We pick that up. So somebody came in. There was a 180 print that came by, and it was a dark pool print, and it was very that didn't happen in the real market, but it's a past order. So
exactly,
just like it's a past order, so that's coming in. So we'll print it real time when the order comes through. But the order is just a notation of past activity, right? So that's what that is.
And it's frustrating because you're looking at it in real time. You're thinking it might be something to do with real time. They really need a better way to kind of. I get the whole receipt aspect of it, and that it has to be accounted for officially on a time and sales, or so that it's actually taking place on the lit market. But I just don't like the way that it's being incorporated, because it's being incorporated with live trading data, and you're absorbing it as being live, unless you're looking at that D print, right? And you got to be super quick with it. Anybody who's watching the time and sales knows how quickly that bad boy can move, and being able to discern a quick print off it is quite tough. So That's my little rant about that. I wish they do it a little bit better.
Hey, my issue with this is
I didn't
that
even know you wanted to talk.
Yeah, no.
Go
My
ahead,
issue with this is, and I told you this before, it eliminates the genuity of the candle print, right? And if you're a price action player, who you and I were looking at the actual prints and volume, you don't know if it's an actual wick or if it's something else, and that's why it really.
Unless you're going to go back, Joey, and compare it to the time it sells. And who the hell has the time to do that when the price is moving?
It's gone already. It's already gone already, right?
It's gone,
So that's the issue with the dark pools.
No, I completely agree. I just don't like the way that it's incorporated. I get that we need an official representation of that sale, and it has to be on whatever the grand ledger. You like it?
Sometimes I like it.
Because it shows you like distant areas of support and resistance.
It sometimes it can, like, if I see deeps or darks that are just pinging a certain price over and over again, I'm like, okay, well, even if this is old kind of orders, someone was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone was there, and if it's significant
and buying there, but at an institutional level.
Exactly.
At an institutional level.
Institutional orders, right? So there are nuances there. It can definitely get annoying, but that's why, it can definitely get annoying. But that's why I have 5 different charts of the same kind of stock, so I can reference. I can be like, yeah, of course I trade price action. I trade candle formation is important to me. So when these candles they mess up a little bit, I can't change it real time, but I'll switch over to my other platform, or I have a couple other charts open. Like, for example, I got a QBTS open up here, and then if I go to a different window here, I have maybe a multi-time frame QBTS set up as well, and I can always flip through different stocks like that as well. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but I think there is some sort of purpose for it. And it really depends on how you use that. Sometimes it means absolutely nothing. Sometimes a lot of times it's irrelevant to the current trade, but it's only in specific scenarios that I do like to kind of use that information as confluence as well.
Absolutely,
it does help, but that's just my perspective.
It's more legitimate on large caps, where that level is an important level, especially if it conflates with another level that you're already looking at, that you're familiar with. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're buying there again. Guys, this is breaking out. What a move on XCH. There's the bull flag continuation. We build a position at the bottom end of the bull flag. We take it out on the break of the top, but there goes $2. And if you're wondering where I got this XCH, it's called a Bhavin Patel special. No, the way you can get your own Bhavin Patel specials is to get yourself something like this, SSE. We're not going to show for too long because they don't pay us. But you need a stock scanner, okay? A stock scanner, you can kind of filter it however you want, by gappers up, gappers down, most volume traded. There is an infinite, well, probably not infinite, but a lot of different setups that you can use for your gap scanners and the columns that you can include. And that's how I find these small cap gappers. I find them through a scanner, a stock scanner. So when I call it my gap scanner is because I'm scanning for gaps. You don't have to though, right? So we're gonna keep an eye on this one. We were initially involved, as you saw there, 69, we add at 72, we add again at 72 as it kept defending that 70 penny level, and we just kept scalping out with a better cost basis there into the area highs. So XCH continuing to run now with a 206 high, but guess what? We failed $2. So the trade's over, right? No, your current candle has a far higher low than the prior bar candle. The 140 candle has a low of 174. This current candle has a low of 193. The trend is intact. The higher lows are there. We're looking for higher highs above that 206 area. Be on the lookout here. XCH, very strong and very good look on the day as well. So that's what I'm keeping. What happened, Joey? What happened? Who? Yeah, straight to jail. Don't piss off Joey. You piss off Joey, you piss me off, bro. We're a team. You realize that, right? Yeah, so Joey's displeased, as am I. Yeah.
Good luck pissing me off. So.
Yeah, he never gets mad. He's not, what I like about you, bro,
I do get pissed off.
You're an even keel guy. You're, I never see you too extreme one way or the other way. You have.
Sometimes I get excited.
I know you do. I know everybody. We're all human, right? We all have those tendencies. But on average, if I had to put a moving average on it.
Yeah. I maintain the moving average.
If I had to put a moving average on it, he's a lot closer to even keel. You like how I'm throwing in the trading references now as opposed to you, right?
Of course, I love it.
Guy,
I love it, man.
I love going out with this guy in a non-trading environment because he's very, very skilled at making non-trading related things, and he compares them with trading related references. And I happen to love that, right? Not only is it like good verbally because he's funny with his words, but it's also contextually appropriate since we're all degenerate traders.
I mean,
myself included.
Yeah, man. Right? Sometimes you just find yourself eating, sleeping, breathing, trading, and that's like it becomes a part of you, right? In a sense, like this is what we do.
As long as I've known you, you've been like that though. You tape watched, Amazon.
I love this stuff. Come on.
I've known you to be that kind of person for quite some time, so I don't really expect much different from you now, to be quite honest, and in a good way. Obviously, you really.
I think it's all good fun, man. We haven't done that in a minute though.
Yeah,
we gotta go. We gotta go.
We went out for Nimwood when Nimwood was here. We went out. Yeah.
We went out for a little bit, but you haven't come to Towers with us just yet.
Towers.
I think Towers.
I don't even know what that is,
twice.
bro.
Did we only go twice?
Towers.
Yeah, we only went twice. We only went twice for Towers, so we can definitely go for some more of those. IONQ.
Ionic.
84. Is that a park?
A bar. A bar.
A bar? No. It's something you can get at a bar. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at this, dude. Guys, XCH is still going here, guys. It is really going. It is the midday mover. It's up 160%. It's at a very reasonable price. So smaller account traders, you can size in substantially. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not making that assessment at all. I'm just saying this one has the price that you can, smaller account traders typically like these ones because they can buy a lot of them and then you get outsized moves. Just take a look at that percentage up on the day, 160%. But there is the bamboozlement at 225 high. Right into $2, quick as you like. Is this a buy area though? We're still holding trend. Higher highs and higher lows, very much still in trend, intact, right now, despite the fact that we're off the high. Current bar low, just so you understand trend, 191, we're showing 208s. So if you were to get in here, you need to just give it to 2. That's too close of a name for a very volatile name. I give it to current bar low, if not prior bar low, if you can stomach that, and if it fits within your risk parameters. So I'm keeping my eye on this one, no doubt about it. We'll see what this one has to offer, but BLBX, I know a lot of you guys have been yelling about BLBX, Yannick, Bovin. I haven't been able to look at it. Let's go ahead and look now. So you guys already know what I'm going to say about this. Fantastic recovery off the bottom. I don't want to disrespect that. Buying this from 7.5 and now it's in 12, but I'm not going to trade this. You guys know exactly why. Because that 830 high, which is a real print on real volume, that's how it's about 600,000 shares larger than all the other volume bars. That's a pre-market high. We haven't cleared it on the day. That keeps me out of the trade, but I do realize your attraction to this. That $15 high will have to get cleared before I jump in. I'm talking about BLBX, not RLBX, BLBX. Small cap gapper up about 43%. Above volume weighted average price, which is showing 10, but below pre-market high, that fails one of the rules of my system. As a result, I stay away.
That's good, man. Yeah, you gotta. It's important to stay disciplined. Like
I always try.
If it's not part of your system, like there's no reason for you to be there. Why should you? Like you're ruining the process, right? You're ruining the process. I think that's a good point that Sharif makes. You got to try to stay as disciplined as possible to your process, and patience. Patience is everything. Maintaining the mental and maintaining kind of just a little bit of adherence to the plan, right? I think that's very, very important as well. A lot of people in the chat pointing out that ARM is starting to crack as well as of right now. So 171. Yeah, I'm watching it. Don't worry, I got it on watch. But like I said, just any sort of dissipation of the bid is not necessarily going to get me involved. I definitely want to see more. But yeah, if you took out 172s, you're sitting nice. It's about $1.50 down off of that 172 breakdown as well. You can see I had a moving average on here as well. That might have been, you can be using that to define trend. And technically, according to that, we have broken down a little bit, but I'm going to be a little bit more patient with this one. I'm also watching some of these other ones as well. So market pulling back in, that's some good confluence there. It goes right there. So 170, I want to see what we do with 170. I liked it at 172, but you know, it is what it is. I said I was watching it and stalking it, but I kind of took eyes off for a couple of minutes and missed the ideal entry. It is what it is. But here comes in the 170. So, oh boy, cracking down a little bit more here. So finally, this break-in trend coming in. Let's see if we can make any lower highs here. So I defined the trend a little bit earlier. Had to move it around a little bit because we did kind of look like we broke it. So initially I had it like in here and there, whatever. But you get the gist, right? You get the gist. Eventually the selling comes in pretty aggressively, and that volume through some of those highs, you can see one of the strongest volume candles on the day, kind of pushing higher. 170 is pulling back in. So yeah, it gave you a quick $2 scalp. No idea if it's going to take us all the way down to 166s. That would be really nice to see. But yeah, bang, indeed, that's coming in real hot. But where's the next trade? There it goes, 169.80s trading right now on ARM, and that is getting a little strong-armed to the downside as of right now. All-day bid, man, all-day bid. Pretty much opening range lows 157, and that buyer has just been stepping in pretty aggressively, and then finally we catch a little bit of a break at that 173 as the market looks to pull back a little bit as well. So it's a good look there. I'm going to continue watching this one as well. AMD was a gift to short, saying save man, woman, peace. All right, let's take a quick look at AMD. While ARM kind of knocks around that 170. So AMD was beautiful short. Sure, let's see. Oh boy, yeah, maybe. It kind of clipped this range high here. So you can see volume kind of picking up. Where is it? After 7 o'clock? Yeah, around 7 o'clock. Volume picking up in the pre-market, and those reference highs from around that time. Supply coming in as it did in the pre-market session. Once again in the open session, in and around back through 224s on AMD. Now trading all the way much lower below this day low. This low is from pre-market session, and that's sitting at 215.20. So sellers are a little bit in charge on AMD, a little bit more of the same as what we saw the prior 2 days. Now, not everything that sold off the prior 2 days is kind of selling off like that, but it's good to keep eyes on some of these names and see if they're having some sort of a level of continuation. So ARM cracking through that 170, so we did get a prior bar low break for the first time on the 15-minute chart, and that's definitely going to bring in some participants as well. So let's see what we do in and around this 170. And Raz the Goat asking Sharif, what's for lunch, bro?
We don't get a lunch today because it is a holiday. This is Thanksgiving, obviously, because we have the harvest a little bit earlier than you guys because we're more north. And so, yeah, typically on statutory holidays, we don't have catering. But it's awesome, obviously, because real trading and this office is freaking awesome. We can choose to do one of two things. We can get a group meal, like Brendo can just get, like everybody, I don't know, sushi or wings or whatever. Or we can independently get our own food, and then we submit it as an expense using the expensing system, which is super cool. I happen to love it. Funny enough, I've never expensed anything because I just bring my own food from home. You guys know how I do, right? We bring the eggs, and we've got the goods at home. So I've never needed to do that, but it's nice to know that we have it. And this is one of the best companies, I swear, I've worked at. I haven't worked at too many companies, but you know, it's certainly one of the top ones, if not the top one that I've ever worked at. So. Hey, I got no complaints about that. Sharif's left bicep. So no random fish dish today. No random fish dish today. And I think your boy Joey Option is going to be super happy about that because he's not a fan of the beef stroganoff or the tilapia. So yeah, he's happy about that. Beef
stroganoff was dope.
I thought it was fantastic. The one on Friday was bomber.
Was solid,
bomber.
I don't know.
I don't know why he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. I respect that. Right?
I don't know if I want to take food advice from a guy that doesn't eat pies. Come on.
Well, you know, I actually tried to get him a pie on his birthday. His birthday was not that long ago. I tried to get him a pie.
Oh, no,
I walked around this entire place looking for a pie at 10 a.m. and there was nobody selling a pie, and I did my best. So it's the way it is.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, dude, you really didn't like that beef, bro? That wasn't that. That was pretty solid.
I don't know why.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was solid. I don't know. You said the chicken the day before was absolutely some of the best, right? That was fire, right? That was straight up fire. Yeah. Best meal ever here. Damn, that's
that was fire.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to the sandwiches. The sandwiches that come in, they're probably the best.
They're really good. You're talking about the breakfast sandwiches,
the breakfast,
right?
And
the lunch sandwiches are quite good as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, you should take advice from the individual who doesn't eat pie.
Why?
Isn't that more logical?
Why is that?
Because I'm not eating the garbage sugar.
Yourself.
It's just sugar. That's all it is.
Yeah, but beef stroganoff has nothing to do with sugar, bro.
No, but I don't like this. I don't like the word stroganoff. It doesn't rub me well.
What the hell is going on? Joey, like, I want to defend you. You're my boy and you're my partner and everything. We're the midday boys, but you're leaving me with little room here.
Yeah,
Joey.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
You're leaving me with little room.
The grilled chicken here is good, though.
I love it. I don't like the word stroganoff. It sounds like Smirnoff.
Oh.
Right, no, I love it. He's all good. All right, guys, here we go. XCH is absolutely losing the bid. Don't make me laugh, please, bro. I'm going to cough. Please. Here we go. It is going to halt now at 186. 2 more seconds in this way. We'll get the gray out. There it is. We are halted down now on XCH, up 124%, 250 on the dot, the high of the day coming in. Funny enough, though, even though we are halted, we are still above the 10. We're still above VWAP and all the other moving averages and indicators that I've got up on my chart. So I don't think this one's done quite yet. We could get a nice little move up. Now, what's the tap? 185 is the halt level, and the top is showing 171. So we're slated to open up around right here if we do open up at that price. So we'll keep tabs on that one. But what a day it has been in small cap gapper world. I'm having one of my best days, I want to say, in a long time. So we'll be pleased about that, and we'll look to do some more damage hopefully tomorrow as the look, Assassino, man, if the small cappers keep moving like this, we'll keep taking these trades. It's nice to have that continuation in small cap gapper world, because you don't always get it, right? Like today, I'm looking at my scanner hero. We're about 2 minutes from the end of the show, and there are 4 names in triple-digit territory. XCH, ELBM, STI, and GWH are all over 100%. You know, they're not all at highs, but just gives you an idea that, they're moving. They're moving. The small caps are moving today. Stroganoff. Chuck of all trades. I hope that small account didn't buy without a stop loss. Yeah, I hope so too, brother. 2-minute warning says Super Quant. Shout out to you, brother. Hangry Wife just reversed the reversal on ARM on the way up for a $1 quick scalp. Giving you a shout out there, bro.
The reversion of the reversion.
Yeah,
I like the way you're starting to think. Solid stuff there. Yeah, so I'm watching it, man. That 170 cracked, and a bit of a fail to follow through. But here's the thing. If you had the 172 short, maybe you're covering into here. Retest of the trend now to the downside, so that's going to be interesting. Let's see if we see any sort of confirmation. But you can see the market's strong. Chips are strong. You can see Micron is pushing up to its highs. So I got that on watch. This candle on the 15-minute on ARM is about to go red to green. So that's the thing. First kind of sign of sellers on something that's been bidding all day, like that buyer can step in at any time. That's so aggressive, right? The market's done absolutely chop crazy, breaking the highs, pulling back into range, whatever. TSM is strong, ARM is strong, Micron is strong. Nvidia, sideways. AMD, selling off. Intel, sideways. SMCI, sideways. So I don't really like the kind of setup there, but we'll see. This could turn into something better, right? The probabilities are changing literally with every tick, with every kind of candle that's printed. So things can change on a dime. I can be like, oh, this is not a good trade 1 second, and then all of a sudden it does something that I really like, and my sentiment changes, my opinion changes, and I'm like, oh my God, this is an absolutely banger setup. Right? There's a probability that changes. Again, we talk about kind of trading being like poker. As that river is laid out, the probabilities are going to change, and you have to make decisions based off of it.
All right. Are we sending
I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay. I got to move over. But
okay. All right. So Katina Man's gone. You're going over there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for being on, Nob. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Solid show. I'm going to take a couple minutes there, and I'll see you guys soon. We'll leave you guys with Joe.
For like a minute, yeah.
For a couple minutes.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Bang. All right, it's your, you know who it is already, man. No introduction. What is that David Letterman?